Hi guys, it's James here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to create and design a professional and beautiful website using WordPress and only free resources.
Yeah, boy.
The good thing about this video is that you don't need to have any sort of experience in writing a single line of code. You don't even need to be tech savvy. This is going to be a complete beginner to advanced web design masterclass. So if all you've ever wanted to learn is how to create stunning websites, then this is the right video for you. Now, if you go through my channel, I have a lot of tutorials to teach you how to create websites. But what sets this tutorial apart is that we will be creating our website using the Flexbox container. Elementor has replaced the sections and columns with the Flexbox container. And if you decide to use the Flexbox container to design your website, then you will be assured of websites that load faster, design complex layouts, better responsive controls, and also more design options. Now, here is the website we are going to be designing in this video tutorial. This website is a modern website with a lot of amazing features, and this website looks really professional and beautiful. If I come to this section and I click on the apply, you can see it brings me to a form where I can fill and submit an application. So I'm going to be showing you how to create a form to receive users' input. Our website is also 100% responsive across multiple devices like mobile phones, tablets, and desktops. Because we are using the Flexbox container, our website speed performance has been greatly optimized, which makes our website load very fast. I will also be offering you a free domain name which will help you to save some money, and also a massive 79% discount on any hosting package you will be choosing using the link in the description of this video. Then if you watch this video to the end, I will be dropping a link to join my free mentorship community where you not only learn amazing stuff but also meet a team of professional web developers you can connect with and even have a better learning experience. I will be adding timestamps in the video description so you can skip certain parts by clicking directly on the timestamps. And lastly, if you are getting value from this video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and also hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss out on future updates. And then don't forget to share this video with your family, your friends, and most importantly, your grandmother.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
So before we proceed, let's take a look at the website we are going to be designing in this tutorial once more. So you can see the website is opened, and at the top left we have this logo, Nigerian Youth Empowerment Agency, NYEA in brackets. Then top right we have the navigation menu. Now you can take inspiration from this website to create a website for a government organization, for a non-government organization, for a skill acquisition initiative, or even for a youth empowerment program. You can take inspiration from this website to create any of those websites, okay? So let's take a look at the website carefully. Top here we have the logo, the navigation, we have the hero section, and you can see how beautiful it looks. You can see the effect on this button, and I'm going to be showing you how to create that effect. If you scroll down, you can see this beautiful section with a lot of white space. If I come down here, you can also see this section here. Join us on a transformative journey as we unveil the NYEA Program Fellowship. Down here, we have this presidential palliative section. Then here we have the skills in focus. So this is like a youth empowerment program kind of website, a government initiative kind of website. Here you can see build the workforce of the future. So you can see here, and you get to apply here if you want. If I come down here, you can see come partner with us. If you click here, you would be directed to the partner page. Then down here, we have the last section, which is the FAQ, frequently asked questions. All right. Then down here, we have a simple footer, copyright, Mesologic empowerment, powered by. Then you can see my name here. All right. So let's now scroll up here. Now, what happens when someone clicks on the apply here button? So I'll just come here for this creatives, and I want to apply in this category as a creative. So I just come here and I just click on apply here, and then you can see it opens up and brings me to this page. So this is the application form. So I can just go ahead and fill in this application form, and then I click on submit, and when I click on submit, my application is going to be submitted successfully. So this is how this website is created. Now, I also want to show you something. Now, if you look at this place, when I click on the about us menu, when I come to this menu here, and when I click on the about us, if I click here, it's gonna be bringing me down to the about us section. So you can see it didn't open up a new page for me. Same thing, if I click on how to apply, it brings me into this section where I can apply, and I don't need to scroll to go to the top. I can just come here to this place and I click here, and it just scrolls to the top. So I'll be showing you how to add this widget here and make it to work. Okay, and if I click on FAQs, it just takes me down to the FAQ section, and you can see this FAQ section here. Then we have the footer here. So this is more like a single page application. All the links are embedded on one page. All right, so there is no redirection here except when you want to apply. Okay, and I purposely didn't create that application form on this website. I just wanted to create it on another page so I can show you how to link it. Else I would have created the application page on this website as well. Okay, so this is the website you're going to be creating in this video, and this website looks great. So to create any kind of website, first of all, you need to get a domain name and web hosting. And a domain name is just basically your website address. Okay, and examples of domain names are things like facebook.com, mesologic.com, mesologic.org, instagram.com, tesla.com, and so on. So that's just your website identity. Then web hosting, on the other hand, is where your website is going to be stored. All right, so to get our domain and hosting, like I promised you, I'm going to be introducing you to a web hosting company, and when you use the link in the description of this video, or you type this website I'm about to enter right now, you're going to be getting a free domain name. So you don't have to pay for that domain. Okay, you just get a free domain name, which helps you save money, and you also be getting 79% discount on the web hosting package you want to get. So just come to your browser, and in the browser URL, just search for webhosting22.com. all right, webhosting22.com. I will also drop the link to this website in the description of this video, so make sure you follow this link to claim the discount I told you about. All right, you'll get a free domain name and also massive discount on any web hosting package you want to get. So I'll just type webhosting22.com and I will search it. And when I search it, it's going to be bringing me into this website, and then you can see this big button that says go to DreamHost. So I'll just click on this button. And then when I click on the button, it now brings me to the official DreamHost website. So guys, if you're on this DreamHost website, I want to let you know that DreamHost is one of the best and most reliable web hosting companies in the world, and they are also among the top 3 best web hosting companies recommended by Wordpress. Okay, so if you're on DreamHost now, if you look at the bottom right, you can see that there is an icon here for live chat. So if I click on this icon, you can see I have access to their support. Okay, I have access to their support, and if you have any issues, if you have any challenges or any queries, you can just come here and choose one of these options you need help with, and then you can now contact their support. And the good thing is that you don't even need to have an account with them. Maybe you just want to make inquiry. You can just come here, choose any of these. If your problem falls in any of these, if it doesn't fall here, you can just come here and type any issue you have, and you send it, and a support specialist would be routed to you, and it will get your problem resolved. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know that before we proceed. Now, to get our domain and hosting on DreamHost, just come here and click on Get Started. And when you click on Get Started, it's going to be bringing you to the plans page. So DreamHost has 3 hosting plans. Here we have the shared plan, the DreamPress plan, and the VPS plan. Now, you can subscribe to these plans either monthly or yearly. And I highly advise you go with the yearly plans, because with these yearly plans, you have massive discounts. So if I scroll down here, you can see the difference between these plans is not that much. If I come to this shared plan, you can see for the shared plan, we have the starter plan. And if I click on this caret here, we have the starter and we have the unlimited plan. Now, for the starter plan, you can create one website with this plan. You'll be given a free domain name if you choose this plan. You have unlimited traffic, WordPress installer, free automated WordPress migrations, WP website builder, fast SSD storage, which makes your website very fast, free SSL certificates to make your website secured, and then you can also add professional business mails with this plan for as low as $1.67 per month. So this plan is great to start with, but I don't recommend you start with the shared starter plan. I highly don't recommend you start with this. Instead, if you're getting started and you're working on a budget, come here and choose the unlimited plan, and I'm going to be explaining the difference. Now, on the shared starter plan, the payment for this is $2.95 per month. This is what you're going to be paying monthly. You'll be paying $2.95 per month, and you'll be saving 63% over the monthly plan. But you can only create one website with this plan, and you can also create professional business mails, but you have to pay $1.67 per month to create a professional business mail. Now, for this $2.95 per month, if I come here and I change this to the shared unlimited plan, you can see for this same amount of $2.95 per month, you can still create unlimited websites. So here is not just one website. You are creating unlimited websites, and you are saving 79% over the monthly plan. Okay, you still have everything here the same, all these features the same, but if I come down here, you can create unlimited business mails for free. All right, so you don't need to pay any money monthly. You can create unlimited business mails for free. So I highly recommend you start with the shared unlimited plan. Don't go with this shared starter plan. Go with the shared unlimited plan. And the reason you're having this discount is because you are using the link I dropped in the video description, or that site that brought you to this plan. Okay, so make sure you use that link and you choose this plan, the shared unlimited plan. Now we have this other plan here as well, DreamPress plan, and for this plan you can also create a website, a more advanced website. You have more space on this plan, and this other plan as well. You just have more functionality with this hosting package. So this VPS plan is a virtual private server. Okay, so this optimizes your website for speed, and you have more storage capacity, and you have unmetered bandwidth and all that. So if you have the capacity, you can go for this plan. But if you're operating on a budget, just come here and choose the shared unlimited plan. And in this video, we are going to be using this plan. So after choosing the shared unlimited plan, scroll down and click on sign up now. So it's going to be bringing you to this page where you have to choose a domain. All right, so you've been given a free domain name. So all you need to do is just to come here and choose a domain. So the first option, you can choose a domain later. You can register a new domain, and if you have a domain already, you can just come here and choose this option. So for me, I want to register a new domain right now, so I'll click on register a new domain, and then I'll now come here and Here I need to put in the domain name, so I can just put something like Nigerian Youth Empowerment Agency. So I'll just put NIGYEA as an abbreviation, and I'll put .com. Now when I put this, I'll come and I'll search it here. So you can see it says congrats, nigyea.com domain is available, and you can see this domain, I'm getting it for free because the package I chose gives me a free domain. Okay, so I have this domain name for free, and then I can now come here and click on add for $0 since I'm getting it for free. Now it now brings you to the checkout page, and here you can make payments either with your credit and debit card, or you can make payments with PayPal. So it just depends on the option you want to use. So if you want to make payments with your credit and debit card, just come here and put your card information. Just put in your card details, like the name on the card number, the expiration date, the security code, and then when you come down here, you put your billing information. You put your address, the country, the state, the city, the postal and zip code. Then down here you just put the security code and you click on add credit card, and if your credit card is good, it's gonna be added up, and then you can now proceed with payment. All right, then when you now scroll down here, you can just come down here and you set up your account. You put in your email address, you put in the first name, the last name, you put in your phone number, you can put in your account use, is it for personal or for business. If it's for business, you put in your business name, your VAT/tax ID, and then you just come and check this. That's if it's for business, but since we are using a personal account, you just put in this personal. Then you scroll down here. Now down here you can see additional options. So DreamHost is trying to introduce you to Dream Shield protection for $3 per month. Okay, that's why if you look down here, our cut is $38.40 because they added Dream Shield protection. Okay, so this is going to be one of the options they are going to be adding, but this is not really necessary for me. I'm going to uncheck it because I'm going to be showing you a plugin you can use to secure your website, so you don't really need this, but if you want you can leave it, but for me I'll just take this off. And when I come down here, you can see the amount due here is $35.40 instead of $38 because I unchecked this. Okay, so rest everything is fine. After filling everything, make sure you put in the correct email address. This is very important because when you want to log into your account or you have issues with your DreamHost account, you may be asked to authenticate your account, and your email is going to be used as the means of authentication. So make sure you put in a correct email address. Make sure you also put in your card and everything is working correctly. And once everything is working, just come down here and click on submit order. Okay, and when you click on submit order, it's going to be taking you to a new page where you'll be asked to set up your account password. That's when your order is successful and you have been debited and your hosting plan has been purchased successfully. You now be asked to create a password you can use to log into your account. So there you need to create a strong password. Now the email you use to get this account, you're going to be sent the login details, the billing details and everything to that email. So all you need to do is just to go to your email and you will see your account information, the username, the password and all that in your email. So once that is done and you set up your password, you now need to log in to your DreamHost account. So for someone like me, I have already gotten my domain and hosting from DreamHost. I was just trying to show you a guide to get yours. So all I'm going to do is I'll just go and log into my DreamHost account now. All right, so to log into your DreamHost account, just go back to DreamHost website. So I'll just come back to DreamHost website after you've gotten your domain and hosting. So when you come back to their website, you now click on login. So from here you can see my details have been saved already. So I just come and click on sign in. Alright, so now we are in our DreamHost dashboard, and when you get to this place, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to come to WordPress, because we want to install WordPress on our website right now. So just come to WordPress, click on this caret and click on install WordPress. So it will open up for you, and then you see this place, start WordPress installation. Select your domain. Now in your own case, you would see your domain is going to be showing here. In my own case, I created a subdomain from my main domain, so I have this option here. So when your domain is here, come here and click on install WordPress. Then you'll be brought to step 2, which is to select a site purpose. So here you can see your site may be in one of these categories. We have local business, portfolio, a blog, e-commerce, other, or none. So since I want to show you how to design this website from scratch without anything, just click on none. Come to the top here. You can see your domain is going to be here. Site purpose, I choose none, and then click on next. Now when you click on next, they are going to be recommending some plugins for you here. So we have this Super Cache plugin, and we have DreamHost panel login. So this helps you to log in to your website from DreamHost. So since I'm showing you how to do this from scratch, just uncheck this one, this Super Cache. We don't need this, but leave this one to be here. This DreamHost panel login, it's gonna be automatic anyways. So just uncheck this and now come and click on install. And when you click on install, the WordPress installation is going to be commencing right now. So if I come here, you can see the installation has commenced. Now I have a lot of domains on my hosting account. That's why you see all these domains here. But here you can see the WordPress installation is in progress. So this is 2%. So I'll just pause this video, and when this installation is complete, then we now proceed to our WordPress dashboard. So I'll see you guys soon. Alright, so WordPress has been successfully installed on my website, and it took about 3 minutes for this installation to be complete. So once your installation is complete, you can see that there is a WordPress icon. There is a WordPress logo here. There's WordPress. Just click on it, and if I hover my mouse on it, you can see admin auto login. So when I click here, it's going to log me in automatically as the admin from my DreamHost dashboard. And I'm going to be showing you how you can create a user and log into WordPress without coming to DreamHost. But for now, just come here and click on WordPress. So I click on it, and it just loads up and brings me to my WordPress dashboard. So now we are in our WordPress dashboard, and if you take a look at the dashboard, you can see so many prompts here, so many notifications are here, and this just makes our website to look clustered. It doesn't make sense. Our dashboard looks messed up. So what I normally do is that I try to sanitize my WordPress dashboard before I commence working on any website. And to do that, you just need to come here, come to the top, you would see screen options. So I just click on screen options and then uncheck all these screen elements. So I'll just uncheck it, uncheck everything here, and then close it back. So you can now see that my WordPress dashboard looks better now. Okay, so that's how you sanitize your WordPress dashboard. Now the next step would be to add an administrator, to add an admin user, because the way this site is right now is that anytime you want to log in to this website, you need to first of all log in to your DreamHost dashboard, and then you now go to WordPress before you can log into your website. So I want to create an admin user so I can log in directly to WordPress without going to my DreamHost dashboard. So to do that, you need to come to users. Just click on users, and when it opens up, you see for now we have one user here, and the role of this user is an administrator. So we have one administrator here, and you can see the name. The username looks really weird because this username was generated by DreamHost. DreamHost just installed WordPress and generated this username for us, and we don't even have a password to this account because we normally log in automatically from the dashboard. So we want to create our own user so we can log in with our own credentials. So to do that, just come to the top and click on add new user, and when it opens up, you need to put a username. So for my username, I can just put NYEA, for example, because this is the website I'm designing, Nigerian Youth Empowerment Agency, so NYEA. Then for the email, I can put any email I want, so I can just put something like mesologic@gmail.com. For the first name and last name and website, these ones are optional. You can see this one is required, the email is required as well, but the first and last name and website, they are all optional. Then for the password, you need to put a strong password here. So if you don't have a password, you can just generate a password from here. You can just generate it, but I want to put in my password, so I'll delete this, I'll hide it here, and then I'll put a strong password. Now, the issue with WordPress is that a lot of people have issues with WordPress because of the security. So make sure you put a very strong password here to prevent hackers from gaining illegal access to your website. All right. Then when you're done putting in a strong password, just come down to the row, and we want to change this row to an administrator, so we can always use this user to log in to our WordPress dashboard. So just change it to administrator. In case you have a blog on your website and you want to hire writers or authors, you can come here and give them a role as an editor or an author or a contributor, and then you put in their details and they will get a notification, and by doing that they can always log into your website and make changes to your website. But depending on the role you assign to them, it will make them to have certain privileges. So if you assign someone as an administrator, the person has total control to make changes on this website. But if you assign someone as an editor, the person would have limited access to the overall functionality of the website. So that is how it works. But for this one, just make the role to be administrator and click on add new user. So we've added a new user now. You can see the admin is NYEA and this is an administrator. But right now we are logged in as this user. We are logged in with the user DreamHost generated for us. So I want us to log out of this WordPress account, and then I want us to log out from this WordPress website, and then try to log in again as this user I just created. All right. So I'll just come here to log out, come here and click on log out. Now I have been logged out of my WordPress website. So in case you want to get to this place where you can log in with your credentials, just come to your browser, put in your website URL, and then add wp-admin. After installing WordPress on your website, to log into your WordPress website without going to the DreamHost dashboard, put your website domain name and then add /wp-admin. Just add this extension /wp-admin, then press enter. And when you search it, it's going to be asking you for your username and your password. So this first place is to put your username or email address. So for me, my username was NYEA. So you can use this username or you can use your email address. And for the password, I'll just put in my password and then I click on login. And when I log in, it's going to be logging me into my WordPress dashboard once more. And now I am logged in as the new user I created, not the default one DreamHost generated for me. So I just hope you're clear with this. And because I'm logged in as the new user, you can see there are a lot of prompts and elements here I don't want. So to sanitize this, I'll just come to screen options at the top, and then I'll just get rid of these screen elements. So I just uncheck everything here, and then I come back here, and you can see my WordPress dashboard looks clean and crisp right now. Okay. So this is how you create an admin user and then log in with your new user. So let's come back to the users, and now you can see we are logged in as this administrator. And if I come here, because I am the admin, I can even delete this one that DreamHost created for me. But I'm not going to be doing that. I'll just make use of this one to design my website. Okay. So now the next thing would be to install the required theme and plugin for our website. So to install a theme for this website, I'll just come to Appearance and I'll click on Themes. And a theme is just basically the structure of your website. So by default, when you run a new WordPress installation on your website, it comes with a default theme. So depending on the year you are watching this video, as at the time of recording this tutorial, the active theme here is the 2024 theme. All right. So if I want to preview my website and see how my website looks, I'll just come here. You see, this is just another WordPress site. I just come here and I'll right click. I'll visit this site in another tab just to show you how my website looks right now. So I click here and you can see how my website looks without installing any plugins, without making any change on my website. You can see how my website looks by default. And this theme is the 2024 theme as at the time of recording this video. So this is the default theme that comes with my WordPress installation. So I don't want this theme. I don't want to use this particular theme. I want to install a new theme I can use on my website. So I come back to my WordPress dashboard, and to install a new theme, I'll just click on Add New Theme. And then when I click on it, you can see the theme repository. You can see a lot of themes here. We have Hello Elementor, we have Astra theme, we have Cadence, we have Neve, we have GeneratePress, and all these themes. But for me personally, my favorite theme is the Ocean WP theme. I love this theme so much because it comes with a lot of amazing features. Most of the things you need to purchase come free on this theme. Okay, so that's why I like using this theme, because it has a lot of amazing features you use for free. So I'll just come to the Ocean WP theme. In case you don't see this Ocean WP here, you can just come and search it here and you will see it. Okay, so I'll just scroll down and click on Install. And when the installation is complete, I just click on Activate. And now you can see that the active theme is the Ocean WP. So if I come to this website now and I refresh it, because I have installed a new theme on this website, you're going to see that the structure of this website is going to change. All right, so let me just come here and refresh my website. So now you can see that the structure of my website has changed because I have installed a new theme. Okay, so after installing a theme, the next step would be to install the plugins we need for this website. So plugins basically are like softwares that enhance the functionality of your website. So for example, you're designing a website and you want a translator on your website, you just go and install the translator plugin. If you want a live chat on your website, you just need to install the live chat plugin. If you want a form where people have to fill a form and submit, you just go and install the form plugin. So they just enhance the functionality of your website. So for this particular website, we need to install some plugins to make this website look beautiful. Okay, so to do that, I'll come back to my WordPress dashboard and then I'll click on plugins. Now when I click on plugins, you can see by default I have these two plugins here that came after I installed my WordPress. I don't want all these plugins, I want to delete them. So I'll just check the two of them, I'll select them. Then you see these bulk actions, click here and choose delete, and then I'll click on apply. Are you sure you want to delete the selected plugins and their data? I'll press OK, and you can see these plugins have been deleted from my WordPress dashboard. So to add new plugins, just come and click on add new plugin. And then the first plugin I want us to install is Ocean Extra. Ocean Extra is a plugin developed by the Ocean WP theme that just comes with extra features to help you get a better experience. All right, just gives you more features to enhance your website. So you can just come here and install it directly from here. You can see the prompt is here, install and activate Ocean Extra. But in case you don't see this prompt, just come here and search for Ocean Extra. Or I will just search for Ocean WP, and you can see that the Ocean Extra plugin is going to come. So you can see. So just click on install, and the Ocean Extra plugin has been installed. Now if you click on activate, it's going to activate this plugin and take you back to the plugins page. So it means anytime we install one plugin and we activate it, it takes us back to the plugins page. So we want to avoid that. So in order to get this installation faster, we have to install all the plugins first, and then we activate all of them at once. So first I want you to install the Ocean Extra. The next plugin, I want you to install Elementor Page Builder. So I'll just type Elementor here, and then you can see we have Elementor Website Builder, and this plugin has over 5 million active installations. It was last updated 4 days ago, and it's compatible with our version of WordPress. It also has a lot of positive reviews, over 6,803 reviews, which means this plugin is great. And this is the plugin we are going to be using to build our website. So just click on install, and Elementor has been successfully installed. Now we want to install an add-on for Elementor that comes with more elements and widgets. So we want to install the Happy add-ons. So just scroll down and look for Happy add-ons, or you can just go and search it there, but I believe it's going to be somewhere here. Happy add-ons. Okay, since I can't see Happy add-ons, just come here and search it. So just write Happy. And when it opens up, you can see we have Happy add-ons for Elementor. So I'll just click on install, and then you can see that plugin has been installed. Now on this website, you can also see that we have an application form. When I click here, it takes me to the application form. So we need to install a form plugin. All right. So you can see this application form. We need to install a form plugin. So I need to come back here and search for form. And then when it opens up, you can see we have different plugins we can use, we can install and use to create our form. But the one I want us to install is Contact Form by WP Forms, right? So you want to install this WP Forms. So it has over 5 million active installations, and it has a lot of positive reviews, over 13,000. So just click on install now. So now that we've installed all the plugins we want to use on our website, we want to activate all these plugins at once. So to do that, click on these plugins, and then when you click on the plugins, you can see all the plugins we installed are here. We have Elementor, Happy Add-ons, Ocean Extra, and WP Forms Lite. So I'll just click here to select all of them. See, just select them, come here and choose Activate and Apply. So you can see all these plugins have been installed. Now let's look for something. One is not working. I'm being told this plugin cannot be activated because required plugins are missing or inactive. And to solve this, I'll just come here and activate Elementor. This is quite strange. I believe your own is going to work, but I'll just install Elementor. And when I install Elementor, it brings me into this page, and they want me to create an account, but I'll just keep it. Look at the top right, close it from here, and now I believe the plugin section, the other Happy Add-ons plugin should work. I'll click back on plugins, then I'll scroll down here and you can see Happy Add-ons. I'll also activate this, and you can see now it has been activated. It asks me, are you a regular user all this year? I'll just click on next, or just choose to skip and go to dashboard. So I just click on skip and go to dashboard. I'll click on OK. So it just takes me back to my WordPress dashboard. So if I come back to the plugin section, you can see that all these plugins have been installed and activated. Everything is working. Now it's quite strange that Elementor didn't activate, and this plugin didn't activate as well. In fact, I'm just experiencing this for the first time. So in your own case, this should work. And I purposely didn't cut out this part from this video because the truth is, in WordPress, a lot of weird things happen. Honestly, a lot of weird things happen. Sometimes things don't just work. So you don't need to go crazy or just get scared that it's not going to work. Sometimes you just need to try it again and then it works. So when your installation is complete, I want us to quickly take a look at the website we want to design. So let me come back to this website and I'll click here, and you can see how this website looks once more. You see we have these pages here. We have all these pages here. We have this section. We have this. This website looks really beautiful because there is consistency in color. The alignment is good, and the font is also great, and everything looks beautiful and very simple. So this is the website we want to create. So it means this is the home page. We need to create our pages. All right, we have the home page, the about us page, the how to apply, and FAQs. So let's create our home page and then start designing this website. And to do that, just come back to your WordPress dashboard and click on pages. And when you click on pages, you can see by default you have two pages here, the privacy policy page and the sample page. These are pages that are created by WordPress by default when you install WordPress on your website. And I want us to get rid of these pages. So I'll just come here and select all these pages. Click on bulk actions, click on move to trash and apply. And now you can see these pages have been deleted from your website. And to create a new page, just come here and click on add new page. And it opens up, and this is the Gutenberg editor. All right, this is the default editor that comes with WordPress for designing your website. But for us, we have installed the Elementor plugin, so we can now build our website with Elementor because it has more features than this default WordPress editor. So we'll just come here and I'll write home. to create our home page, I just name this home, and then I want you to come to this Ocean Extra. You can see it here. Click on the Ocean Extra, and for the general, change the content layout. So I'll just click on default, and then I'll make it to be full width. So just choose full width. For the padding, I want you to disable the padding. Click on disable padding, then scroll down, click on the header, and we don't have any top bar on our website, so disable this top bar. Scroll down, and for the title, click on the title and disable the page title. So just click on disable the page title, and once you set everything up like this, click on publish and click on publish. So now you can see that your website, your page has been published, and we can right click and open this in another tab so you can see how it looks. So I come here, and you can now see this site has opened up, and this is how it looks. It just has this site title here, and there is nothing on the website. That means we are going to be designing this website from scratch. All right, we'll be designing everything here from scratch. So let's go back to the WordPress dashboard, and to do that, just come here and click on this WordPress logo to come back to your WordPress dashboard. Okay, now the next step, I want to show you the basic WordPress settings. All right, before you commence designing any website, there are some settings you need to do in WordPress that are very, very important. Okay, so the first thing, if I come to our website here, if I carry my mouse here, you can see that it says just another WordPress website, home. Just another WordPress website, because this is the default title of our website. But if I bring my mouse on this site we design, you can see we have NYEA, empowering possibilities. So we want to rename our site title to look like this, NYEA, empowering possibilities. And to do that, come to your dashboard, scroll down, and you would see settings. So just click on settings. And when you click on settings, it automatically takes you to the general option, and here you can see the site title. So I'll remove this and I'll put NYEA. So this is the site title, and for the tagline, I will now put empowering possibilities. Okay, empowering possibilities. Then you can choose a site icon from here if you want, but I'm going to be showing you how you can do this later in this video. So just leave this for now. Just put in your site title and the tagline, and then when you're done with that, scroll down and click on save changes. So you can see the settings have been changed. The settings have been saved. All right, now when someone visits your website, if I come to this website, if you put your website URL and then you search it, instead of taking you to the home page, it rather displays the blog page. This is very common with WordPress websites. It automatically displays the blog page, and you have to go and set this thing up to display your home page as your home page. All right, and to do that, just come back to your dashboard, and still under settings, click on reading. So I just click on reading, and then you can see your home page displays your latest post. So this is a default settings here, but we want to change this from here. Your home page displays a static page. Your home page displays a static page, and then you now choose the home page to be the home. All right, so this is going to be our home page. If you have a blog page, you can now come here and set your blog page to display your post. Your post page will now be displaying your blog page, but for now we want our home page to display our home and not the blog. All right, so make sure you always do this. This is very important. So when you now set this home page as the home, scroll down here and click on save changes, and you can see that the settings have been saved. And the last thing I want you to do is I want you to change the permalinks. So if you scroll down, still under settings, you can see this permalinks, and basically permalinks is just like the structure of your website, the permalink structure. by default it shows the day and name. All right, so I don't want you to use this one. Try to change your permalink to post name. Make sure you put your permalinks on post name. And I know you're going to be confused here and you'll be asking a lot of questions, but this is going to make more sense when we get deeper into the tutorial. So just come here for now and change your permalink from day and name or anyone it was on, and just change it to post name. And when you're done, just scroll down and click on save changes. And then you can see your permalink structure has been saved, has been updated successfully. Okay, so these are just the basic settings you need to do before you commence designing your website. These settings are very important, and make sure you always come and make these changes before commencing designing your website. All right, so now that we've made these settings, the next thing would be to start designing our website. And to design our website, just come to pages, click on pages, and you can see we have our home page. To design this home page to look like this, come back here and click on edit. You want to edit the home page. And then when you now come here, click on edit with Elementor. So I click on edit with Elementor and I'll wait for it to load. So now I am in my Elementor dashboard. All right, I'm in my Elementor workspace where I can start designing my website. So I don't know if this is a bug, but I noticed anytime you try to launch a particular page and make edits with Elementor, it normally brings up this big banner for me, and there is no place to close this banner. If I click anywhere, this doesn't close. So recently I found a hack. I found a way of closing this banner when it pops up. I don't know if it's going to work for you, but what I normally do when I see this big banner, I just come here to these three dots. I'm using the Chrome browser. So I click here and I reduce the zoom ratio. I can make this zoom to be something like 80. And when I make it 80, you can now see that I have this option to close it at the top right here. So I can just click here to close it. And when I'm done closing it, I'll come back here and increase my zoom ratio back to 100%. And now I am in my Elementor workspace where I can start designing my website. I can start building my website to look exactly like this. And the most important thing is that we are designing this website from scratch, which means we are not using a template. We are going to be doing everything from scratch, one by one. Okay, so in my Elementor workspace, if you look at the left panel here, we have this layout, and layouts just simply identifies the structure of your website. So we have the container and we have the grid. If I scroll down, you can see we have the basic elements here: the heading, the image, the text editor, videos, buttons, and so on. And I'm going to be showing you how to use these elements to build your website to look like this. Okay, then if you look at the Elementor workspace here, we have this widget area, and this widget area we have the plus and all this. If I click on this plus, you can see we have two basic structures for your website. We have the Flexbox and the grid, just like we have it here. So if I click on this Flexbox, you can see we have different structures here. We have one column, we have two columns, we have 4 columns, 3 columns, and so on. Now, I recently dropped a video tutorial on my channel on how to create a website, and in that video we made use of the inner sections to design that website. But Elementor recently introduced the Flexbox container and also the grid container, and with this you can see that there is a difference on the columns. If you look here, you see we have an arrow pointing down, and here we have an arrow pointing right, which just shows you the row direction. Okay, so we have the column direction and we have the row direction, and you can see all this. And I'm going to be showing you how to design a website with all these things in this tutorial. I'll cover everything on how to use these things so you can get better results. All right, so I'll just close here. On this widget, if I click on it, you can see it prompts us to create our website with Elementor AI, but we're not going to be connecting because I want to show you how to design everything from scratch. So I close this, and then here we have the Happy Add-ons widget. Now this widget is displaying here because we installed this plugin. So it depends on the number of plugins you install. Most of those plugins are going to be showing here. Like the Happy Add-ons plugin was installed because I want to have access to more templates and more widgets. So if I click on this widget, you can see we have pages here. I can just come here and import any of these pages if I want. You see here, if I click on insert, it will insert this whole page for me. You see here as well, you can insert this page. Some of them are pro, but we have a lot of free beautiful pages here. And if I click on blocks, it's the same thing. You can just come here and insert some blocks. Like you see this one, you can insert it for free. Okay, so that is it, guys. That's the basic overview of the Elementor workspace. So now we're going to be proceeding with designing our website, but before then, let me even show you something. If I drag this element here, for example, you can see I have the heading. So that's the heading element, and here I can come and write something like this. Oops, this is a heading. All right, and if I come back, I can drag the text editor here, and you can see this is the paragraph, and then we have more elements here. Like this one is the button, and then you notice when I try to drag the button, Elementor is prompting me to update my font awesome to font awesome 5. Okay, so I'm gonna be going to do that now. If you started designing your website already and you got to this point, you have to cancel it, come down here, update your website before coming to update your icon library, because if you don't do that, your work is not going to be saved. I just wanted to clarify that. So I'll just come and click on update. It prompts me changes are not saved. No problem, because I've not started designing my website yet. So it brings me to this place, and then you can see font awesome upgrade. I'll just click on upgrade to font awesome 5 and click on continue. So this is going to be updating within seconds. And you can see my site has been updated. Now you can see all the changes, all the changes I was doing here, they have disappeared because it wasn't saved. Okay, so that is how you do that. Now let's start designing our website to look like this. Now we're not going to be doing this section now, the heading and the menu bar, the navigation menu. We're not going to be designing this in Elementor. We're going to start from here, this hero section. So to create this hero section, come back to your Elementor dashboard, click on this plus, click on the Flexbox and choose one row. Okay, so I just click here to choose one row. Now we have a background image here. See, we have this background image, and that's the first thing we're going to be doing. I want us to add a background image. So click here on these 6 dots here to select this whole container. All right, then come to style. You can see the background, click on this brush, background type, and then you can see image, click on choose image. So right now we don't have any images in our image library, so I'll click on upload files, click on select files to select an image from my computer. Then I want to go to the pictures, and then I have this folder NYEA, so I just double click to open this folder. Then I want to import all these images into my media library on my website. So I click here, or I just do Ctrl A. I think I have a zipped file. Let me deselect this one. So I just do Ctrl A to select all the pictures I have here, and I click on open, and you can see all my pictures are being imported into my website. Alright, so all my pictures have been imported, and the picture I want to use as my background image is this one. So I just click on it and I click on select. So you can see that the picture is added, But if I come to this one, you see that the height of this picture is longer than this one. This is just very small, so you want to increase the height of our background image. So to do that, I come back here, come to layout, and then you look for minimum height. Okay, now it's on pixel. I want to change it from pixels to VH, and then I'll make this to be 90. All right, so when I make this 90, you can see how it looks. Okay, so this is how it looks. Now if I come back to this website and you look at this site, you can see that there is a background overlay. This picture looks green. There is a green color that just dims this picture and makes it to look beautiful, because the primary color on this website is green and we want to be consistent with this green color. Okay, so we need to add an overlay to our background image and make it to look like this. So I need to come back to my website, then I'll come to style. Make sure you select the background image, come to style, and then scroll down and you would see background overlay. Okay, you see background overlay. I click on it, and then you see this brush. I click on it and I want to give it a color. So I click on this color, and the color I want to give it is #26A65B. All right, so this is the green color I want to give it, and I want to save this color because I know I'm going to be using this color multiple times. Okay, so I'll click on this plus, and then I'll save this color as maybe my main color, my main one. So I just save it as my main one, and then I now create this color so I can use it multiple times on this website. Now you can see this color is almost blocking our image. We can't even see the image. The image is not too visible because this color is too thick. So we need to we need to reduce the opacity on this color and make it to be lighter. Okay, so to do that, you can see opacity here. I can either increase it or I can reduce it. All right, so it just depends on what you want to do, but for me I want to reduce it to 0.2. so I'll just make this to be 0.2, so at least I can have something like this. All right, so this is how I want it reduced, and if I come here and I hide this, you can see how this looks now. Okay, so this is how it looks. Then when I come to this site, you can see we don't have any container here. This picture spans across the whole screen, but here we are having this white space, which means this is a container. So to alter this, so to do that, just look at the bottom left. You will see this settings icon. Just click on settings, and then you can see the page layout is showing default. All you need to do is to click here and change this to Elementor full width. So once I make that change and I click on update, you can see that my picture now, my background image now spans all through the website space, and it just covers everywhere just as I want it. Okay, that container has disappeared, the container space, and this is how I want my website to look. All right, this is how I want my website to look. Then the next thing would be to add this content to my website. All right, so to do that, first we need to add this. We need to add this this text here. So I just come back to my website. I click here to see all the elements. Then I drag the heading element. I just drag the heading element, and you can see the heading element is showing blue, and it's being aligned to the top automatically. Okay, it's aligned to the top, and I don't want it to be at the top. I want it to be in the middle, just like this one is here. I want it to be in the center of this image. So I need to come back here, click on layout, and then on layout, scroll down here and choose this justify content to the center. All right, I want to justify my content to the center, and also choose align items to start from the left. Okay, so just choose this as well, and I'm going to be showing you what that does in a minute. Okay, so this is how you get this. Then the next thing would be to add this text. So I'll just come here and copy this text, click here, come here, and I will paste it. So I now have this text, and the next thing would be to give this to change the typography and the size of this text. So I come to style, I come to the color, nope, not the color, I come to typography, and I change this from Roboto to Poppins. So I just make this text to be Poppins. Then for the weight, I need to reduce this weight to 400, and for the size of the text, I need to make it to be 16. Okay, so this is how I want this text to be. Now we're not done yet. I need to give it a background color. You can see this background color we have here, this background color. So I just come here, come to advanced, and then scroll down and you will see background. So I just click on background, and I'll just come down and click on this brush and click on the color. All right, and the background color would be, let me just delete this, would be hash F9 DC AD. So this is the background color I need to put here. I just close this here, and then we need to give a decent amount of space from the right and from the top and bottom. So I'll come here back to my website, I'll scroll to the top and I'll click on layout, and for the padding, I want to give it a padding. Okay, so I'll just come here and give it a padding of 10. So I just give it a padding of 10, and this is how it looks. Now the picture inside, this picture inside here, sorry, the text inside needs to be changed to black. So I need to come here, come to style, and instead of the text color to be blue, I'll just change the text color to black, and this is how this looks. All right, in case you're wondering that this space is longer, I can come here, come to advanced, delink this, and the padding to the right, I will make it to be 20, or I'll make it to be 40. This is not really important, and this is how you get this margin from this side. And we're not done yet. If you look here, the edges are curved, they are not sharp, they are curved. So we need to add border radius. So to do that, I'll come to advanced, I'll scroll down, and then you see border. I click on border, come down here, and you can see border radius. So I can just give it a border radius of 4, and when I maximize this, you can see how it looks. So now we've gotten this first section here, introducing the Nigerian Youth Empowerment Agency. Now the next thing would be to add the second one here, and to add the second one, I'll just copy this text from here. I'll just copy it, come to my website, minimize this, click here to view all the elements. I'll drag the heading and drop it under this one, and then I will now paste it. Okay, so I'll paste this, and after pasting this, I need to make this to this, I need to increase the size. So I'll come here, click on this, come to style, come to the color first of all to change it to white. So I've changed this color to white. Then for the typography, I need to change this from Roboto to Lato. So I changed this to Lato. I'll make the text to be 45. I'll just increase the size to 45, and I will make it 600. It's already on 600, which is fine. Okay, so this is 600 and it's fine. Now you can see this is very big and it's spanning all the way here, and I need to break it so the Nigeria digital workforce would go down and make it to look more beautiful like this. So to do that, I need to give it a custom width because this width is too much. So I'll click here to select it. I'll come to advanced, then for the width, I'll change it from default to custom, and then I'll make the width to be 50%. All right, so I've changed the width to be 50%, and that is how you get this section. And if I maximize it, you can see we've gotten this section just like we have it here. Okay, so the next thing would now be to add this paragraph. So I'll come here and copy this paragraph, come back to my browser, come back to my website in Elementor, click here to view all the elements. I'll just drag this text editor and drop it here, and I'll change the content and paste this here, and you can see the color is faded. So I'll come to style and change the color to white. Okay, and then the width is too much. I need to reduce this width, so I need to come to, but before I reduce the width, let me come to the typography and change this from Roboto to Lato. This is the font I want to use. I want to use the Lato font, and for the size of this font I want to use 17. I want to use 17. Then I need it to be 400. This is okay. All right, then I now come to advanced, and then for the width I change it from default to custom, and then I make this to be 50. So you can see I have 50% width here. Now if I maximize it, you can see how this looks. Okay, so you can see how it looks, and this looks great. And the next thing now would be to add the button. To add this button, you can see this effect on the button. We want to add this button and also add the effect. So I click here and I minimize this. I come here and then I choose the button. So I drag this button here and drop it under this paragraph. So we have the click here. Why here we have read more. So I'll come here and replace this click here with read more. All right, so this is what we have. Then if you look here, we have an icon after the text. So I'll just come back to my Elementor workspace, and then you see this dot here, this black dot icon. We have this black dot. I'll click on the black dot and I'll search for an icon called play, and then I'll choose this one and I will insert it. And when I insert the icon, it's gonna be aligned to the left, and I need to switch the position to the right. So I just click here and the position is switched to the right. Now if you want to link this button, this is where you come here and link it. All right, so you can come here and add any link you want to take the person to when he clicks on the button. So it's here. Then after adding this icon, the next thing would be to style our button and make it to look this beautiful. Okay, to make it to look this beautiful, you see there is a decent amount of space inside this button, so we need to add that because ours doesn't look too fine. So come here and click on style, and when you click on style, for this color we want to change this color to our primary color. So click on this accent. You can see this accent here. If I click on it, you can see my main one. This is the color I saved earlier. So I'll choose this color, and then you can see my button color has changed. Then when I scroll down for the padding, I want to delink this padding and set my own custom padding. So I'll click on this chain, and you can see I don't have any padding on this button anymore. So for the padding top, I want the padding top to be 15. So I'll just increase this here to 15. That's for the top. For the right, I want it to be 50. For the bottom, I want it to be 15 as well. So I need to make this to be 15. And then for the left, I want it to be 50. So you can now see that we have this button. Okay. Then after that, for the typography, we also want to increase the size of this button, make it bolder, just like we have it here. So I have to come here, typography. I'll click on typography. I will leave this to be Roboto, but I will change this from 500 to 600 so this looks better. Okay. Then I will also need to add this hover effect. When someone hovers on this button, when you carry your mouse on the button, you can see this effect. So I need to add that effect as well. And to add that effect, I need to come back here. I'll scroll down while clicking on this button. You can see hover. You can see hover. I click on hover, and then I scroll down and you can see hover animation. So I just click on this and I'll see this drop down. I'll choose pause. So if I choose pause and I carry my mouse, you can see that I have this animation on my button. Okay, so let me just close this and make it bigger so you can see. So you can see this effect on my button. All right, so we've successfully created this first section and you can see that it looks great. Okay, this section looks great because we've created it and everything is working. Now the next thing would be to create this section here. And before we start creating this section, I want you to come here and update your work so all your changes are going to be saved. So I'll just come here and click on update. And you can see my site has been updated successfully. So now let's create this section. So I will come back to my Elementor dashboard, and to create this section, I'll click on this plus and I'll click on Flexbox and I'll choose one row. Then if you look at this one, you can see we have a decent amount of space here. But if you look here, this new container is joining with the other one we created here. It's joining together. And when we add content here, it's not going to make sense. So we need to add the space here. So to add that space, come back to your Elementor, select this container. You can see this purple color. It means it's selected. Come to advanced, then delink the margin. This is the margin, delink it, because if you don't delink the margin, it's going to be adding the space from all the sides. But we only want to add the space at the top. So margin top would be 100. So you can see I said I need 100 pixel space at the top, and this is what I have. So this makes more sense now. And the next thing would be to add this picture and this text as well. So to add this picture, I need to come here to view all the elements. I'll drag the image and drop here, come to choose image, and then I'll choose this image and I'll select it. So as at the time of recording this video, this is the President of Nigeria. So this is the picture here, and the next thing would be to add the heading and this other content. So to add this, I need to create another container for this content. Okay, so to do that, you can see I come back to my layout, I drag this container and I just drop it below this image, and then I need to add content inside this container. So I need to drag this heading, drop the heading here, come here and replace this heading NYEA 2024. I need to change it to green and make it look more beautiful. So I come to style, and instead of clicking on this color to type a color code, remember we saved the color already. So I click on this custom and I choose my main one. Then I click on typography. I change this from Roboto to Lato. I change it to Lato and I increase the weight to 700, which makes it bolder. Okay, then for the size, I need to choose something like 45. Yes, I need to choose a height like 45. Then we have a little problem. If you see, this content is on the right while this is on the left, but here we have this picture at the top while the content is beneath it. And I did that purposely to show you the new feature that Elementor introduced with the Flexbox container. And that new feature, you can customize your content with your direction. Okay, so we now have a row direction. So I want to change the direction of this from bottom. Instead of pointing down, I want it to point right. So to do that, select this container. I'll select this container. Everything is selected. Come to layout, and you can see the direction is pointing down now, vertical, which means anything I add here is going to be vertical. But I want to change this to the row horizontal so it faces to the other side. So to do that, I can just click here once, and once I click here, you can see the direction has been switched. And in fact, if I want this this other part to switch to this side while this picture goes right, I can just come here and I can switch it. You see? So this is the new feature that was introduced by Elementor, and this makes more sense. It makes your website to load faster without adding inner sections and all that. So I just click this to do this. And then the next thing would be to add the paragraph. So I just come here and I copy this paragraph. Let me just select only the paragraph. I copy it, come here, click here, look for text editor, which is my paragraph. I'll drag it and I'll drop it under here. I'll change this text. So I just paste this one here and I come to style, change this color to black, and then I come to typography and I change this from Poppins to Lato. So I choose Lato here, and for the size I'll make it 17 pixels, so this looks bigger and better. So this is the size we use, and now if I maximize this, you can see this looks great. Okay, this looks great. Then the next thing would be to align this to the center. So I click here and I scroll down here, and then I want you to use align items and choose center. So this is aligned to the center. I know you won't see any much difference, but trust me, this has been aligned to the center. You can see this text is in the center, it's not at the top, and this just makes more sense. Then when I come here, you can see we have space here. We have a decent amount of space here, but on ours this space is not much. So how are we going to add the column gaps? Just come back here, scroll down, and you would see column gaps here, and now we have 20, but I want us to increase our column gaps to something like 50. So I'll just change, instead of 20 I'll put 50. So our column gap has been increased to 50, and now you can see this looks great. Okay, so you can see that we've created this second section and it's looking beautiful. We created this one, came down here, and we've created this one. Now the next step would be to create this transformative journey section, and this is what we are going to be doing next. So to add this section, let's come back to Elementor, and in Elementor you need to click on the plus, click on Flexbox, and choose one row. Okay, so on this row, first of all, if you look here, we have a decent amount of space at the top. So we need to first of all create the space, because right now our new container is almost joining the other one. So to do that, click here to select the new container, come to advanced, click on margin, delink it from here so you can make changes only to the top, and then I'll give it a margin top of 80 pixels. All right, so now you can see that we have space at the top, and after creating space at the top, we now need to create this section. We need to add content here, and then we need to add the image. Now I need to pay attention to something. In the previous tutorial, I used the inner section before Elementor introduced the Flexbox container, and to create a section like this, you need to create two inner sections. Okay, you need to create an inner section with two columns. That means after creating this container with green color, you come inside this container with green color and create two inner sections. One of the section would contain this, and the other section would contain the picture. But when you design your site like that, it makes your website to have a lot of sections, which makes your website very slow because of a lot of sections you create. Okay, but with the introduction of the Flexbox container here, instead of creating an inner section with two sections with two columns, you just need to create one container to contain all this, and then you don't need to create an inner section. You just drop this image inside this container and change the direction. So let me illustrate that now. So come back to your Elementor workspace, and I'll click here, and first I will add another container. Okay, I'm adding another container inside this container. This is the main container, and this is another container I've added to put this content. And then after that, I need to add an image element. So I drag this image element and drop it under the container. So you can see I have a container here and I have an image here. Okay, so what I now need to do is I need to click on this overall container that contains this container and the image, and I'll change the direction. I'll come to layout and change the direction to right, horizontal. And once I change the direction, you can see we have one container here and we have this image here as well. So you can see this is better than adding inner section and having two sections here to do this. Okay, so that's why the Flexbox container is better than the inner sections. And now all we need to do is to first of all give this a background color. So I click here, come to style, and for the background I click on this brush. For classic, I come to the default, the color, and I'll choose my main one to have this color. Okay, then after having this color, I now need to add text inside. I click here, I drag my heading and drop it here. Come here and I will copy this much, just copy it, come back, and I'll replace this text here. Then I'll change the color from blue to white. Come to the typography and I'll change this from Roboto to Lato, because Lato is the primary font. Choose Lato. And for the font weight, I can leave it to be 600, or let me just change it to 700. Okay, so I just change it to 700, and for the size I will make it 35. Okay, so I've made the size to be 35, and the next thing would be to copy this paragraph. Just copy it, come here, the text editor, just drag the text editor, the paragraph, and drop it under. Change the content inside. I just paste this here, come to style, change the text color to white. For the typography, I'll change it to Lato. Change the typography to Lato. And for the size, I'll make it 17. And then that is just it. I'll leave every other thing to be like this. Okay, this to be 400. And then for this picture, click on the picture, come to choose image, and I'll choose this picture and I will select it. Okay, so now this is what I have here. Now if I maximize this, you can see how it looks, and this is looking good, but it's not looking like this yet. We need to add space, inner space here. That's the padding top and bottom. So I'll come back here, click here, select the whole container, select this whole container, come to advanced, and then for the padding, I will delink it from here. Padding top would be 50 and the padding bottom would be 50 as well. So now if I make this bigger, you can see I have padding at the top and I have padding at the bottom. All right, now if you come to this site, you can see this has been aligned in the center. I know this is very hard to see, but you can see this picture is not aligned at the top, it's aligned at the center, and that's what we want to do. We need to come here and select this container, come to layout, scroll down, and for the alignment type, just choose center, and you can see this picture shifted a little and it's now aligned to the center. Then the last thing I want you to do is to give it a column gap. You can see here we have a decent amount of space here for the column gap, while here we don't have this much space. So to add a column gap, click here to select the overall container, come to layout, scroll down, and this column gap, this time let's change it to percentage. Change the percentage and we'll use 6%. So you can see we now use 6%, and when I maximize this, you can see how this looks. So this looks like this. Okay, it looks like this and everything is looking fine. If you want, you can increase the size of this. Okay, so if I come here, click here, come to typography, I can make this size instead of 35, I can make it to be 40 if I want, and now I can have something almost exactly like this. Okay, so you can see how we easily created this section. Now in the next step, we are going to be creating this section, and this is very easy. This is almost like this one. So this is what we're going to be doing in the next step. Okay, so to design this section, let's go back to our Elementor dashboard. And this is our Elementor workspace, and here we need to create a new row to start designing. But in fact, in order to save time, just scroll to the top and copy this whole section. Click here to select this container, copy this whole section, come down, and then come here, right click anywhere within this widget area and click on paste. And then you can see we have this content, because this section is similar to this one. There is a picture here, there is a heading, there is a paragraph, and the background is white, and that's the exact thing we have here as well. So I'll come back to the Elementor, click on this picture and change this image, put this one, and then you can see the image has been changed. Then for the title, click here, come to this other site, copy this title, the heading, come back here and replace it with this one. And after replacing it, you can see it's very big. This heading is very big. We need to reduce it, and also we need to change this color to black. So come back here, come to style, change this color to black. So I'll just choose black color, and in the typography I'll change this from 45 to 40. Okay, so I'll just change it from 45 to 40, and then let me just maximize it, and you can see everything looks great. So you can see this section has been designed within minutes, because it looks similar to the other section we have already. Okay, so this is how you design this section. Okay, so the next step would be to design the skill in focus. So to create this section, I need to go back to my Elementor workspace, and then here I'll click on plus, I'll choose the Flexbox, and I'll choose one row. Now as we normally do, you see this container is almost touching this other container, so we need to create space at the top. So I'm going to be giving it a margin top of 70 pixels. So I just click here, come to advanced, I'll delink this margin and give it only at the top 70 pixels, and you can see we now have some space at the top, just like we have it here. Then the next thing, we need to fill in this background color. So I'll come here, I will select this whole container, come to style, come to background color, click on this brush, and then come to color, and this color is, oops, what did I do? Okay, to get this color, just put hash F2FFF7. So this is the color here. So this is the color here. So we've gotten this color now, and the next thing would be to start adding content into this container. So I need to come here and copy this. Click here to go back to my elements panel. I'll drag in the header here and drop it, and I'll just come and change this to skills in focus. Come to the style, and then for the typography, I'm going to be changing this to Lato. We have to be consistent with this font, Lato, and then I'll make it 700, something a bit bolder. And for the size, I'll just make it around 40 pixels. Okay, so I have set it to 40 pixels, and then so I have set the size of this to 40 pixels. Let's come here and check. You see the color is black, so I come back here and I'll click on this color, and I will make the color to be black. Then what's next? We have this paragraph. So I just come here and copy this paragraph, come here, I'll drag the text editor beneath this. Make sure you drag it beneath it, and then I need to replace this text here with this one. Then I'll come to style, I'll also make this to be black. I'll come to typography, I'll change this to Lato and make the font size to be 16. And then I'll just leave everything like this. Now when I'm done doing this, I'll come back to my element panel. The next thing would be to add these bullet points here. You can see them here, and we have 3 columns. So now we are going to be making use of the grid. Okay, we'll make use of the grid layout. So I'll just drag this grid layout and drop it here. Okay, so when I drop the grid layout, it's going to be giving me 6 grids here. You can see we have 2 rows and 3 columns on each row, but we just want to work with this row here, so we don't need this other one. So to get rid of this other row, just come here. You can see we have rows and we have 2. I'll just make it 1. Okay, so now we just have 1 row. So let's start adding content in these rows. Let's start adding content in these columns. Okay, so I'll copy software development, come back here, click here, and then I'll look for an element called icon lists. Just scroll down and then you see icon list is here. Under general, we have icon list. I'll just drag it and drop it here. Then we have 3 list items here. I'll close this one and I'll close this one. I'll leave just one. Click on it, change the text inside to software development, and for this icon we need this icon here. We don't want the mark, we want this other icon, and I think it's called life ring. Okay, it looks like a ring, so this is what we want. So I'll come here and click on icon library, and then I'll search for ring. Okay, and then you can see I have life ring, so I just choose it and I'll click on insert, and now I have that ring right there. Okay, then I will come to style, and when I come to style, the space between this, I'm gonna be making this to be 10. Okay, so I'll make this 10. That's the space between each of these. After this one, we have space here before the next one, another space before the next one. So I'll choose 10 here. Then I will click on the icon and I'll change the icon color to our main color. So I'll just click here and choose my main one. All right, so that's the color. And for the icon size, I'll choose somewhere around 30 pixels. Let me see how that looks. Okay, 30 pixels is fine. Then I will scroll down and I think that looks okay for me. Then I'll come to the text, and in the text I'll click on typography. I'll change this from Roboto to Lato. So I'll choose Lato, and for the size, I think this is fine, or let me just make it somewhere around 16. Okay, so 16 is great. And then for the color, it's already black. I need the color to be black, and then I have 16 here. So this is how I get this one. So now I need to duplicate this because I need more of this. We have like 4 items here, 1 2 3 4. So I'll come back here and I'll click on content, and you see this copy icon here, this duplicate icon. I just click on it, duplicate, click on it again, click on it again. So now I have 4 items. So after software development, if I click on the next one, we need to change this right up. The next one is UI UX design. So these are the skills in focus. Come here and I replace it with UI UX design. Come here, we have data analysis and visualization. I'll just copy this here, click on this one, the third one, and I'll just change it to data analysis and visualization. And then we have quality assurance. So I come here and I copy it, come back here, click on software development, and I'll just replace this as well. So I just paste this here, and now you can see we have all these things here. Now to get these other ones, we don't need to go and start all over again. I just come here, I'll copy this, just come within this column, and then I'll paste it. Come here and paste it. So you can see we now have all this. So now it's just for you to click on a particular column and just come inside and change this to something else. So I can change the software to corporate wares. So I just come and copy it, come here, and I just highlight everything here, and I just paste this, and you can see it has been replaced. So since we don't have much time, I'm going to be leaving you to change all these and then make sure everything looks great. Now if you look here, we have some space inside. This is padding because it's the space within the container. So I just come here, select this, come to advanced, and then for the padding I'll delink it. Padding top I want to have 100, and then for the padding bottom I also want to have 100. Okay, so now let me maximize this. Let's just see. You can see this looks great and it looks like what we have here. Okay, so this is how you create this section. Just trying to look to see if maybe I missed something, but I'm not sure. So I think this looks great and everything here looks fine. Okay, everything looks fine. So the next section, we need to design this, build the workforce of the future. So we need to design this section now. Okay, so let's create this section now. So to design this section, let's go back to our Elementor workspace. So I'll come back here and I'll click on plus, click on Flexbox, and I'll add one row. Okay, so like we normally do, we need to create some margin at the top so this container doesn't join with this one. And to do that, click here to select this container, come to advanced, delink this margin and give it a margin top of 50 pixels. Okay, so here we're not giving it 100 pixels because we want to also add some padding inside this container, so it's going to be adding up to 100. So after giving it a margin top of 50 pixels, next thing we need to get this section, and in order to save time, I'll just come here and copy this heading. Just copy it, scroll down, bring it and paste it inside this container. Come here and copy this one as well, bring it and paste it. So now we have this. Then I just need to come here and change this to this text here. So I paste this here, and for the paragraph as well, I'll just copy this much, copy, bring it here, and I will replace it. So I just paste it here, and then this is it. Then we need to change this color. This color is green, our primary color. Click here, come to style, click on the globe and choose my main one. That means we've changed this color, and I think everything is working fine. Then we need to add this section. Okay, we need to add this section, and to add that section we need to add a container inside here. So drag this container and drop it. So now we have a container here. Then this container, if I come to the layout and scroll down, when we add a content here, by default the container, the direction is pointing down, but we need this thing to point it in a horizontal direction. Okay, because right now this is pointing in a vertical direction. We need it to point in a horizontal direction. So in that case, we come here and change this direction to horizontal. Okay, then I'll come and drag this card. Just come here and search for card. Just type card, and then you see we have an element called card. So this is a card. This entire section is a card. It's an element. Now the reason we have this element is because we installed a plugin called Happy Add-ons. So this plugin now gives us this element. So if you don't install this plugin, you're not going to be seeing this here. You know, Elementor has some limits. If I come and I close this and I show you this element, you can see we have some free elements, but Elementor has the pro version, so you need to upgrade and pay money before you can get some of these elements working. So in order to use some elements for free, that's when I installed, that's the reason I installed Happy Add-ons. And with this Happy Add-ons, we have this card option that just brings everything. So I'll just drag and drop this card here, and you can see how it looks now. This is how the card looks. Then I'll click on choose image. Let's check this picture, this lady here. I choose this one and I click on select, and now we have this picture here. Then the next thing, I need to scroll down, and for this badge text, we don't need any badge text here, so I just delete this badge text. For the title and description, I need to remove this card title, so I'll come here and I'll change this to creatives, copy it, come here and change it. So I paste it here, and for the paragraph, I just come here, I'll copy it, come here, and I will just paste it. Now when I paste this, you can see this is looking very big, but no problem, just keep on following the video. Don't worry, we're going to be making this to look like this. It's just occupying the whole container, but we're going to be making this to look like this, so just keep on following the video. So that's what we have there, and for the button, we have apply here. So I just need to come here, I'll scroll down, click on the button and change this to apply here. And then if you have a link, you can just come here and put in a link you want them to be taken to when they click on the apply button. Okay, so that's how you get this. Then we come to style, and in the style, just scroll down and you see this title, just click on title and description. And for, let's check, for the title, we have this green color and some formatting there. So for the title, the color would be this my main one. We need to choose this color, come to the typography, change this Roboto slab to Lato, and then for this font size, we make it 35 and C, or let's just make it 30. Okay, let's make it 30. Then here we'll make it 600. For the font width, we make it 600, and we now exit this place. Then come to the description, and the description color is black. The typography is Lato, and then the size is okay. I think this size is okay, or you can just make it 17. All right, you can make the size to be 17. Then I think everything is fine. Then just scroll down to the button, and for the button, I need to change the color. So let's scroll down here. You can see we have background color. I'll just click here and choose my main one here. So I've changed the color here, and then I think everything is looking great right now. Then when you're done doing all these things, we need to duplicate this because we have 3 here. We have 3 of these items here, so we need to duplicate this. And to do that, just come to this particular element, right click on it and choose duplicate, and now you see we have 2. Right click and also choose duplicate, and now we have 3 of these items. Okay, and you can see we are using just one container. We are using just one container to put these 3 items in one container. Now in the earlier tutorial I made, you can see that it was impossible to get these 3 items in just one container. You needed to create 3 inner sections. You needed to have an inner section here, another inner section here, and another one here, which made your code to be much, and it made your website to load very slow because of the amount of code we used. But now you can just use one container and add elements inside, and they will be aligned properly with the help of the direction. So the Flexbox container makes more sense. The Flexbox feature makes more sense. Okay, so this is how you get this section. So we've been able to achieve this. The next thing now would be to change all this. So I just come here and copy this food service, click on this one, scroll down, click on title and description, and change this creatives. Just paste this here to food service. Come here and copy this traders. So I'll just copy this, come here, click here, and I will scroll down, and I'll just scroll down title and description. I will just paste this here, and then we have traders. Okay, then I need to change this picture. Click on this picture, click here. What picture do we have here? This woman. Click here and I click on select. So we have that woman. I click here, click on choose image, and then I choose this one. See this one here, click on select, and then I update. So you can now see that we've been able to create this section. Let me just maximize this so we can see. So you can see we've been able to create this section. All right, we've been able to create this section, but we need more space. See at the bottom here, we need some space at the bottom, and we also need some space at the top as well. So I'll minimize this, come here and select this container, come to advanced, and then I'll delink this padding, and I'll say padding top should be 50 pixels and padding bottom should be 50 pixels as well. So now you can see we have a decent amount of space here as well. And then after doing this, we also need to do something. So let me just come here and update this. Let's check. So you can see everything is working fine. Now for this button, when someone hovers on the button, we want this to change. Like you can see here, when you hover on the button, the color changes. So I just come here, click here, scroll down, that's on style. Make sure you're on style, scroll down, click on the button, scroll down here. You can see we have hover. So click on hover, and for the background color, we're going to be choosing #21B53F. All right, so this is what we choose. And now when I carry my mouse on it, you can see the color changes a little. Okay, so we've done this, and to get this across these other sections, you don't need to come here and click here. Just come right click here, click on copy, and then when you come here, right click and choose paste style. So this is only going to be pasting the styles from this particular item. So I click on paste style, and when I come here, you can see the color is changing a little. Okay, so I still come here, right click and click on paste style. So now we can achieve this. Okay, so this is how we achieve this section. So you can see everything is working fine. So let's take a look at the whole website. You can see this part looks great. When I come down, we've been able to design this part as well. This part looks great as well. This looks great. This looks great. And this looks great. Okay, so in the next step, I'm going to be showing you how to create this partnership section, how you can create this. So to create this section, we need to go back to our Elementor workspace. So I'll just come back here, and now I am in my Elementor workspace. Then a quick one, I noticed something just now. If you look at this website here, you can see the space between this text here and the images here is not much. Why here we have a lot of space in here. So let's see how we can close the space. So to close the space, just click on this container icon here and come to advanced, delink the margin, and this time we're not giving margin at the top. We want the margin to be negative. So we're closing this margin, so we'll close it to somewhere around 40, or let's say 35 is fine. So somewhere around 35, you can see. So we can close this margin to somewhere around 35. Then I will click on update. Okay, so I'll click on update, then I'll scroll down, and now let's create this section. So to create this section, we'll come here, click on plus, click on the Flexbox, and then we choose one row. Now let's add some space at the top. So I'll just come here, click here, come to advanced, and delink this margin. For margin top, we need to have 100 pixels at the top. So we need 100 pixels at the top. Then we need to have this background color. Okay, we need this background color. So I'll click here, and I'll click here to select this container, come to style, click on the background type, click on color, and for this color we're going to be putting #295628. okay, so that's the background color we are using here. Then when we put this background color, we now need to add all this text inside. So I click here, come here to see the elements, drag the heading element inside, and we need to change this text here. So just come and copy this, come partner with us, come here, and I'll paste it here. Okay, so I now have this text here. I'll come to the style and I'll make this text to be white. Then I come to typography. I'll change this from Roboto to Lato. Okay, so I change it from Roboto to Lato. And then I also make this to be somewhere around 40 pixels. Okay, I think this is fine. 40 pixels is fine. Then I'll come back here. I'll copy this paragraph from here. Just copy it. Come here. Come here. I will drag this text editor beneath it, and I'll change this content. I'll change the write-up to this one. Come to the style. Change this color to white, so this color can be changed. Then come to typography, and I'll change this from Roboto to Lato. Okay, so I just changed this to Lato. And for the size, I will make it 16 pixels. 16 pixels is fine, and I will update it. Then when I'm done with this, we now need to get this this button here. And to get this button, I'll just scroll to the top here and I'll copy this button. All right, I'll just copy this button. I'll come down, just scroll down here, and I will paste it. Okay, so you see I have pasted this button here. Then I will come to the style. Make sure you select this button, come to the style, scroll down, and here we had 15, 50, 15, 50. If you look, this button looks bigger than the other one, so we need to change this 15 to 20. So here we need 20, and we also need 20 here, so we can have a bigger button. Okay, so this is what we need here. We need 20, 50, 20, 50. So once you've done this, we need to change this right up to partner with us. So I come here and I copy this right up. Instead of read more, click on the button, come to content, and when you come to content, just change this read more to come partner with us. And then if you have a link for this button, this is where you can come and put the full link here. So when someone clicks on the button, it navigates the person to that particular link. Okay, so this is how you achieve this. Now before I forget, this has a hover color. When I hover on this button, you can see the green changes. Okay, the green changes. So I need to come here and add a hover color. So I'll come to style, and then I'll scroll down and I'll locate the button. Look at the button here. Then you can see this hover. Click on hover. And for the color here, I'll click on the color, and the color I want to use here is hash, nope, not at hash 24D563. Okay, so this is the color I want to use. So when you hover on it, you can see the color changes. Then another thing, the animation we used here is different. The one we have here keeps on animating, while this one just comes once. Okay, so I need to come here and I'll just scroll down, and I need to change this animation from pause to grow. Okay, so now when you carry your mouse, it just grows. So this is how you get this section. Now we've gotten this section, and the next thing would be to add some padding at the top and bottom. So I just come here, select the whole of this container and come to advanced. Then for the padding, I'll delink it. Padding top would be 50 and padding bottom would be 50. Okay, so this is how you get this section. And then the next thing would be to align this content in the middle. Okay, so because of the Flexbox update Elementor had recently, you can just align all these things to the middle at once. You don't need to come and select one and then come to style and make it center, come to the next one, make it center, come to the button center. There is a way you can select the container and then align everything to the center at once. Okay, so I'll just click here, and when I click here, I'll come to the layout. I'll come to layout, I'll scroll down, and then you see align items. So I just choose this one, and it just aligns everything in the middle at once. Now if you still look here, come partner, and then with us is under. There is a brick here, and then we have with us. So I just need to come here. I'll come back here. I'll click on come partner, come to the contents. Then after the partner, just put in this element break. Okay, so just write this code. Just write this code, the less than sign, BR, and then greater than sign. So this is a line break, and then you can see this with us now comes to the bottom, but this is not aligned to the center. So I need to come to style, and then I need to align this properly to the center, and then you come down and you update. And then let's maximize this and see how this section looks. So you can see how this section looks. Everything is looking great. And this is exactly what we have here as well. Okay, so everything looks great. So the next thing would be to create the last section on this page, which is the FAQ section. So to create this section, let's go back to our Elementor workspace. And now we need to click on this plus, choose Flexbox, and choose one row. Okay, so you can see we need to add some space at the top. So I'll click here to select this container, come to advanced, delink this margin so we can only assign margin at the top. So I'll just make margin top to be 100 pixels, and you see we have this space here. Okay, so this is the space between this container, this background, and this text. Then we need to add our FAQ heading. So come back, click here to see all the elements, drag the heading and drop inside. Then I'll come copy this text, come back here, and I will just paste it here. And then I need to style this up. So here we have this green color. So I'll just come here and click on this globe and choose my main one, so it turns green. Then I come to typography, come here, and I see this is big, so I'll just make this to be Lato and 40 pixels. So I make this to be Lato, I make this to be 40, and then for the boldness I can just make it 700. This doesn't really matter. Then I can align it to the center, something like this to make it center aligned. The next thing, we need to have FAQs for applicants. I'll copy this, come here, and what I'm going to do, I'll just duplicate this, come to this pen, right click and duplicate. So I now have FAQs, but this time I want to replace this with this text I copied, FAQs for applicants. You can see how we have it here. Then the next thing, we have this background, this green background. So we need to give this a background color of green. So click here to select this, come to advanced, scroll down to background, click on background, click on this brush. For the background color, click on this default, this globe icon, come down and click on my main one. Okay, so click on that, and then we're now going to be having this color, but the text inside is green. Remember, we duplicated this, so the text is green. Green on green, it's not visible. So we need to go and change the text color, come back to style and change the text color to white, and now you see, you can see it. Then if I come back here, you can see we have some space here inside this background. We have some space at the top and bottom. We have some space here. So if you come here, you can see there is no space. So to give that space, come to advanced, delink this padding, and we say padding top, we need 10 pixels. So you can see we have some space at the top. We have space at the left and right already. So padding bottom 10 pixels. So now we have some space at the bottom as well. So we've achieved this section. And now I'm gonna just come here and I'll update it. So my work is saved. And then you can see we have these two sections. And now it would be to add this FAQ. See, when I click on a particular question, the answer is here. So we need to add up this section, and I'll just come here, and to add this section, we need to add a container first of all. I would drag a container and drop it under this FAQ, and then I will now come here and search for an element called accordion. look at it here. We have this accordion. I just drag it, and before I drag this accordion and drop it here, I need to make sure my container, this particular container, is the direction is pointing to the horizontal, okay, not vertical. I need the direction to be horizontal. So I'll click on this container, come to layout, and I will change the direction. This row direction, I need it to face the side because we need to add two things, 1 and 1. We're not adding it under, we are adding it beside, so it needs to be horizontal. So I've changed this to face the side, and then I can now come and search for this accordion. I'll just drag it and drop it here, and then you see I have one accordion here. If I can just duplicate it, or I can still come here, and if I search for accordion again and I drag it, you see this time I drop it, you can see I now have 2. You see I have 2, just like I have it here. So let me just maximize this so you can see. So you can see I have these 2 accordion, but this doesn't look as fine as this one here. Okay, doesn't look this nice. So let's see how we can format this and style it up to look this great. So I'll come back here, come here. So I will now click on this to select, make sure you select this first one here. I will come to the accordion, and I need to change this right up. I'll copy this text here, come here, and I'll replace the text. This is the question up here. You see this title is the question. Then for the content, I will come here, and if I click here, I will just copy this content as the answer, bring it here, and I'll just highlight everything and I'll replace it. You see I have replaced this content by just pressing Ctrl V to paste what I copied from here. So I have gotten this section. Now if I click here, I'll close it. I don't need to do this on the number 2, this accordion, so I don't need to come and do this. I want to style this first one so I can duplicate it. Okay, so after doing this, in fact, let me get rid of this second one. I just need one here. Then for this icon, you see we have a minus sign, and if I click here, we have a plus sign. We don't need this sign, so I just come here and I'll choose none. For the icon, I choose none. You can see, so I now choose none. So now when you click here, it opens, it closes without any sign before it. So that's the first thing. Then I'll come to style, and for the style, I will click on the title, and the title color, I want the color to be black. See this, see the color is black here, so I want it to be black. And then for the background of this title, I don't know if I'm going to give it a background. You can see we have a background here, so I'll give it a background. So let's say this, the title, where is it, the background, I'll click here, and the background color would be hash F1 F1 F1. Okay, so this is an ash color, this is a gray color, this is a gray color, you can see it here. So that is it. And then for the active color, when it's active, let's see, it's still black. All right, so come here and I'll change this to still be black. So you can see, so this is how we have it. So I now have that. And then for the typography, I'll come here and I'll give this a font family of Lato. Okay, I'll make this to be Lato, and I will make this to be 16. I make this to be 16. Yes, this is how I want it to be. And then this is how I achieve this section. Then let's go to the content. This is just the title. What about this description? So let's click on the content, and the background should be white. This is fine. The color of this text should be black. Okay, this should be black. Go to typography. I'll change this to Lato. And I want the size to be 14. It's already 14. I just want it to be 14 so it doesn't compete with the heading, okay, the title. So this is how you get that, and I think everything is now looking fine. So I click back and then you can see everything looks fine. Then I just need to duplicate this. Okay, so I'll just come back to the content and I will just, you see this place, click here to duplicate it. So I have 2, 3, let's check, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have 3 here, 1, 2, 3. So this is how you get this. Now after getting this, we don't need to come here and do everything here all over. Okay, so I can just delete this. I'll right click there and I'll click on delete and I'll just duplicate this. Right click, duplicate, and now we have these two. So if I close this up, you can see we now have this here and this looks great. Okay, so this is looking great, so you can see it. So this looks nice and this looks great. So if I scroll back to the top, let's take a look at our website. We have this beautiful hero section here, everything is working fine. If I scroll down, we have this other section of the president with this right up here. If I scroll down here, we have this beautiful section. If I come down, we have this section. If I come down here, this looks great, this looks beautiful, this looks fine, and then we have this last section of the FAQ. All right, so you can see we've been able to design this website and everything is looking fine just as we have it here. Okay, so just like we have it here, everything looks great and fine. Now I want us to do something. I want us to give this space at the bottom. Okay, we need to have space at the bottom, and to get that space, I'll come back to our Elementor, click here, and I will just click on this container, come to advanced, and I'll just make margin bottom to be 100 as well. So now if I come and I maximize this, you can see we have space at the bottom. All right, so in the next part of the tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how you can make this website to be responsive on phone and on tablet. This is on desktop and it looks very fine. Now what if someone opens this website on a mobile phone or on a tablet? We are going to make this website to be responsive, and that is what we are covering next. So to make our website responsive across multiple devices, let's come back to our Elementor workspace and let's preview on our website. Let's preview our website on a mobile device and a tablet. So look at this responsive mode here. At the bottom left here, you can see we have this responsive mode. Click on it, and when you click on it and you come to the top, you can see we have 3 devices here. We have the desktop, we have the tablet, and we have the mobile. Okay, so I'll click on these mobile phones because trust me guys, people are going to be visiting your website on a mobile device more than these other devices. So our priority should be to make our website to look responsive, make our website to look great on mobile devices. So we should have a mobile first approach when designing our website. So to do that, you can see how this looks. This doesn't look good. We made this to be 50% and it looked great here because it was 50%, but now on mobile you can see it doesn't look nice. If I come down here, you can see here as well, you can see the button. Some of these look great already. You can see some look great already. In fact, every other thing here looks good, but that first section doesn't look too great. So I'll click on the scroll to top button to come here, and then let's see how we can work on this and how we can fix this. So the first thing, let's click on this to select this title, the heading, come to advanced. Then you can see for the width, we made it 50%, but now we want to click here and make this width 100%. Okay, so this is now 100%. Then I'll click on the paragraph as well, come to advanced, change this to full width 100%, and you can see this looks better. Then also let's see, this is looking fine, but we still need space beside. You can see this space at the right and left is not okay for me, so I'll select this whole container. This container has everything. I will now come to layout and I will change this width. On mobile phone, this is on mobile, so every change we are making now, it's only going to affect the mobile portrait. Okay, so I'll change this from pixels to percentage, and then for the width I'll make it to be 90. You see, I make it 90, and now I have space at the left and I also have space at the right. So it depends on you. You can make it any number you want, but I just feel 90 is okay and it works just great. Okay, then for the space at the top and bottom, I can just click here, come to advanced, and if it's on mobile, I'll delink this and I'll say top should be 100. You can see at the top we should have 100, and at the bottom we should have 100 as well. So now you can see we have this, and this looks great. Okay, this looks just fine. Now if this text is too big, you can click on this text, come to style, come to typography, and every change you're making is only going to affect the mobile. If I click here, you can see we have the 3 of them, so this is only affecting the mobile. I'll change this from 45 to 35, something like this if you want. And for the paragraph as well, come to style, typography, change this to 15 instead of 17, 15. So you can see this looks great. For this one, the text here, you can come here and typography, instead of 16, I can make it 15. So you can see this is beginning to make sense. So this section here looks very fine now. Let me just maximize this. You can see this is looking beautiful. Now let's come to the next section. And for this next section, we don't even need to do much. This looks great already. So I can just click here. In order to maintain consistency, I click here and come to the width. I'll make this to be percentage and make it 90. So I make it 90, and then I can come here and change the size of this to 35 since we are using a mobile. Click here and make this to be 15. This is completely optional. You can like put any values you want. I'm just doing this so you can see. I come down here, click here, come to displace, to the width, change it to percentage and make it 90, or you can make it 95. It just all depends on how you want it to look. I just feel like 90 looks great for me. I'll click on this text, change the style, come to typography. Instead of 40, I'll make it to be 35. And then for the paragraph, come to style, typography, make this to be 15. And you can see the paragraph looks great and the image looks fine. Now, for me personally, I don't like it when a particular section has an image under. You can see on desktop, this image is just beside. So if this is going to be on mobile phone, I would prefer this image to be at the top. Okay, I want this image to be at the top, so this content down would be explaining what the image means instead of the image to show at the bottom. So if I come back to the mobile, you can see this picture shows at the bottom. Then next here we now have another picture. So this kind of conflicts for me. That's for me personally. So I want this image to switch and go to the top, and I don't need to stress myself much. Now, in the other version of Elementor, the inner sections, you had to like play around to get this image to go to the top by maybe creating this section again completely and then hiding this image on desktop and revealing it on mobile phone and switching the positions. But with the Flexbox container, this is very easy to achieve. So to do that, I just come and I click here on this container to select everything here. And since this is pointing down, you can see this image is down here. I'll just come to layout. I'll scroll down and you can see reverse columns. So if I click here, this image is going to be reversed. So the image goes to the top instead. For this section, this image goes to the top instead. And then for this one, you can see every other thing aligns properly here. And the image has gone to the top. Now, if you want to still align this thing, because you can see this text here, if you look carefully, the text, this picture is wider than the text. So if you want to align this, there is a default padding. There is a small padding automatically here. We need to cancel that padding. So click on this container, come to advanced, and then I'll delink the padding, and you can see the padding has left. And now if I come here, you can see this is aligning properly. Okay. but this text is joining this one. So what are we going to do? Click on the margin, and for the margin top, I want it to be 20. So you can see at least we have some space now, and this looks great as well. So we've been able to design this section. Now let's come to this other section. Click here on this section. Let's be consistent, make this percentage and reduce this to 90. 90 is fine. And then if you want, you can close this padding here. If you are cool with that, come to advanced, delink it so the padding closes, and then every other thing looks fine. You can see this looks great. If you don't want, you can come here and change the size of this font like we've been doing for these other ones. You can change the font to 35 and make this 15, but I'm not going to be doing that. Then you can come here as well, and you can just come to the width, make it percentage, and make this to be 90. You can see somewhere around 90, and this just aligns properly and looks great. Then I come down to build the workforce, click to select this entire container to the full width. The width, I make it to percentage and I make it to 90. Okay, so I just make this to be 90%, and this looks great. And you can see this picture is not aligning. There is a small space here. Look at this border and this picture, there's a small space. So let's just cancel the padding. So if I come here and I cancel this padding, you can see the picture just fits in properly and everything now works fine. Okay, then for this section, click here, come to the width, make it percentage on mobile phone, and I'll make it 90. Let's just make it 90, and it looks fine. Come down here. Now this is not looking good, it's not aligned to the center, so I can just click here and make it to be aligned to the center. But you need to be consistent. If you're aligning these things by the left, make sure you're consistent and they are left aligned. If you want it to be at the center, make sure it's center aligned. Just wanted to clarify that. For the FAQ section, it looks great, but this font looks big here, so you can just click and change the font size on mobile phones. Okay, so this is how you make your website responsive. And if I click on this scroll to top, you can see our website looks very beautiful on mobile phone. So I'll just come here and update it. Then when you're done working on mobile phone, you can also work on the tablet, but this is not really important for me, but you can just go ahead and do this. Okay, so you can go ahead and do this. You can see how it looks here. It doesn't look too good, but you can go ahead and do it. So okay, let's just do it together. So I just click here, come to advanced, make this to be full width, come here, click on this one, come to advanced, make this to be full width as well, and the button is already here. Click here and change this this width, come to layout, make this to be percentage and make the width to be 95, to be 90 rather, make it to be 90, make this to be 90. Then come down here and you click here, and now you see we have two sections. This is 50%, this is 50%. Now in the other version of Elementor, that's the inner sections, you needed to like give this to be 100% and make this to be 100%, so this just occupies everywhere and looks better. But with the Flexbox container, this has been made very easy. And how do you do that? Since this is, I need to change the direction. I need to make this now to be vertical instead of horizontal, because if this is horizontal, look at this picture here, look at this text here, it's looking too tiny and it doesn't make sense. So I need to make this picture to occupy this whole position and move this text down. So I just click on this container, come here and change this from this direction from horizontal to vertical. So now we have this picture here and we have this right up at the bottom. And the next thing would be to come here, click on it, come to layout, change this to percentage and make this 90%. So it just aligns properly. Come here and the same thing, click here, make this to be vertical like this. For the width, make it to be percentage and make it to be 90%. You can see. Then like I said on the mobile, I don't really like this picture staying down, but This looks great, so there's no need. But if you want to switch that picture, you can just come here and reverse it and it just goes up. But I'm not going to be doing that, so I'll just leave it like this, okay? Because we don't have much time. Come here, click here, make this to be like this. Come here, change this to percentage and make it to be 90, okay? So this just aligns properly and it makes sense. You can click here and you can click here, make this to be percentage and make this to be 90, okay? You can see how it's looking. This looks quite good, but I just feel like this doesn't look nice here. This doesn't look nice. I would prefer at least there should be 2 columns on 1 row, okay? So 1, 2, and we push this one down so there can be enough room for the tablet to accommodate this. So how do we do that? I come to this container, I click on it, and then here we have these columns. I just come here and make this column to be 1, and if I make it 1 column, this is how it now looks. Skills in focus. If I make it 2 columns, this is how it's going to look. Skills in focus, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. So it depends on what you want to do, but this looks great for me, so I'll just leave it like this. Come to this next one, click here, make this to be percentage, and I'll make it to be 90%, and you can see how it looks. Then for this one, I need to also change it, okay, because it doesn't look great. So I click here, I come to layout, and I just make it to face down. So I now have this section here, okay? I now have this one, creatives, I have this one, and I have this one. Then down here, this one looks great. FAQs look great for me. I think this looks great. There's no need to come and push this down, but if it doesn't look great, if you feel it's not looking too good, you can just come and push this down so it looks like this, okay? You can make it to look like this by pushing it down, but I think it looks great by side, still looks fine. So I'll just come down here, come to layout, and I'll make it to be side by side. Oops, I think I just ruined something. I need to click on this particular container and I can make it side by side, or you can just make it to face down, anyhow you want it. I just want you to play around and get yourself familiar with all these things. Just play around here, just go crazy, and you're going to see that you master this thing very soon, okay? So this is how you make your website to be responsive. So on desktop, this looks great on desktop. Let's come to the top. See, on desktop it looks fine. On desktop everything looks fine. On desktop looks fine. Then if I come to the tablet, looks fine on tablet as well. You can see here, everything looks fine on tablet. And then when you now come to the mobile phone, you can see it still looks great on the mobile phone as well. So this is how you make your website responsive across multiple devices, okay? So the next thing we'll be looking at would be to add our navigation menu. You can see our menu here, and this is a bookmark link. This is like an SPA, a single page application. So if I click on this about us, it just takes me to the about us section. All right, it doesn't navigate me to a different page. If I click on how to apply, it takes me to this section for me to apply. Then I can scroll to the top here, and then if I click on FAQs, it just takes me to the FAQ section. So this is more like a one-page website that has everything functioning properly on just a single page. I don't need to be navigated to another page. Okay, so this is how I achieved all this. So that's what we're going to be looking at next. I'll show you how to link all these things properly and how to create this navigation menu. And when we're done, I'll now show you how to add a logo to your website and also a fave icon. All right, so let's now go ahead and do that. And to do that, come back to your Elementor workspace. Let me just minimize this. Come back to desktop and just scroll here So we have the home. This is automatically the home page. The next thing is the about us. So I just click here, I scroll down, and this is the about section. I click on the container. Make sure you click on this container, come to advanced, and when you come to advanced, you can see we have the CSS ID. So for this CSS ID, I'll click here and I'll just write about. You can name this thing anything you want. I just want to name it about for this section. So this is an ID. I'm giving this section an identity. It's a unique identifier to identify this section as the ID, so it can help me to link it with this menu. Okay, so this is the ID. The next thing is the how to apply section. So I'll scroll down and I'll look for how to apply. You can see it here, apply here. So I just click on this container to select this section, come to advanced, and I'll give it an ID of apply, just something simple, apply. Then I scroll, let me come here again and check FAQs. So I'll just scroll down to FAQs. I click here, I come to advanced. For the CSS ID, I just put FAQs, FAQS. All right, so this is what I put there, and then I click on update. So I have been able to internally link this this website. Now let's see how we can now create this navigation menu here. Let's see how we can create this here, and then how we can link it up. So to create that, we need to go back to our website, to our dashboard, and then we create this menu. And to do that, let me click on this eye icon just to preview our changes. So I'll click on the eye icon, and you can see how our website looks. This website looks beautiful, to be honest. It looks very beautiful, and it looks very simple. There is consistency with the colors, the alignment is nice, the use of font is great, the animation is okay. The white space here looks just fine, and I'm so proud that we could design something like this. Now let's come to our dashboard. Bring your mouse here and click on dashboard. When the dashboard opens up, I don't like seeing all these prompts here, so I'll just come to screen option and I will deselect everything here, so all those prompts go away. Okay, so this is looking better now. Now to create this navigation menu, come to appearance. You can see we have appearance here. Come to appearance and click on menus. And when you click on menus, it's going to be opening this up for you. Now you see we have the menu structure and we have the menu name. So I'll just click on this menu name, and you can name this menu anything you want. The name you're going to be naming here, people are not going to see it. This is just for you to remember the menu you are using. Okay, so you can see my system is already bringing this up for me because I like using the main menu. This is your main menu on this website. You can have another menu on the footer or another menu on the sidebar, but this is the main menu. You can even have another menu on the top bar, but this is the main one. So I just write main menu here. And then for the menu settings, I can display, this is the display location. So I want this to be the main. When you choose main, it displays this menu as the main menu. If you choose top bar, it displays it at the top. And if you choose footer, it displays it on footer. If you choose mobile, it displays on mobile. So I can just choose as this main, and I can also choose mobile. All right. And then I click on create menu. So my menu has been created, and now I need to add all these menu items. So I have these pages. This is the home. I select this home and I click on add to menu. So now we have home here, and if I click on save changes, it has been saved. And if I preview my website on another tab, let me just come here and visit the site in another tab. Let's see what happens. Now we have home. Because we added only the home, we now have home. You see what we added? We added home. Now, how do we add the rest? About us, how to apply, and FAQs. So I come here and I come to custom links. I click here, and now we have the URL and we have the link text. So for this one, we need to put this one about us. On the link text, I'll write about us. Then for the URL, remember we saved that section as about. So just put this #, the hash, and then we now put about. An ID is always represented with an hash. So this is the hash and about. So I now click on add to menu. So we have about us here. The next one would be how to apply and FAQs. So I just write how to apply, and then for this one I'll put hash and I'll put apply, because remember we saved that section, we gave the ID of apply. I now click on add to menu. Then the last one is FAQs. So I just come here and I type FAQs, and here I put hash and I put FAQs. Okay, remember this is what we saved that section with. And just to verify that, let me come here. I'll scroll down, and when I come to FAQs, I click on this place, come to advanced. You can see we saved it as FAQs, and for the rest as well. So now after saving all these things, after adding them up, I just click on save menu. And when I click on save menu, I come back to my website and I refresh. You can see we have home, we have about us, we have how to apply, we have FAQs. And if I click on about us, it just takes me into this section. I can scroll back to the top. If I click on how to apply, it just takes me into this section. I scroll back to the top, and if I click on FAQs, it brings me into this section. So this is amazing, right? So this is how you can link all your sections to your navigation menu. Okay, so that's how you do that. So the next section, I'll be showing you how to add a logo and also how to style this up. You see, this looks very bold and beautiful. It has this this effect under it when I hover on it, and we also have this logo here. So let's see how we can add a logo and also style this up. So to do that, come to your website, and if you look here, we have this customize section. So just click on this customize option, and it's going to take you to the customize section where you can add your logo and also style up the navigation. So you can see the customize section has opened up, and see how our website looks. Now to add our logo, just scroll down and you see we have the header. Click on header, click on logo, click on select logo, and I think I have my logo somewhere here. My network is slow. You see this logo here. I have the logo, and I click on select, and it's asking me to crop this image. I just click on skip cropping, and watch something here. This text is going to change to my logo. So you can see the text has been changed to my logo, but this logo looks very big, so I need to reduce the width. So I just come here and I reduce the width of this logo. So I make it somewhere around this size, 220. Let's see here. Let me increase this. This looks bigger. Okay, so I think somewhere around 280 or 270 is fine. We'll just test it and then we'll see. So we have 270, and this looks okay. All right, so this is how you add a logo. I now click on publish, and after publishing this logo, we now need to style this other section up. So to do that, I'll come back, click here to go back, and then to style that, let's see where we can do that. Let me click on menu. Nope, it's not here. Let's look at general options, general styling. It's not here. General settings. It's not here. Okay, let me just check it. Let me click on the header. I click on the menu. All right, so I think it's here, the header, and I click on the menu. Now you can see here we have this effect, this 3 dotted lines that shows when I hover on it. So for the link effects, I can click here and I'll choose, if I choose brackets, for example, watch what happens when I choose brackets. If I hover on it, you can see I have brackets when I hover on this, but I don't want to use the bracket effect. I want to use the triple dots under. And then when I hover on it, you can see these triple dots under it. All right, so this is how you achieve that effect. Now, if we want to make this text to have a green color by default, then we need to change this color to the color we were using. So I think that color is 26A 65B. Yes, I think we're using this green color. So we need to make the links effect color. You see, when you hover on it, the color should be green. So this is the color we want to use. Then I publish it. The link effect color should be like this. Then for the link color itself, we want this to be green as well. By default, it should be green. So I just come here and I change this color to #26A 65B. So we now have this green color there. I publish it, and when someone hovers over it, it should change to blue. I think that blue doesn't make sense because we don't have any blue on this website, so it's not even necessary to make it blue, but let's just leave it like that. But if you want, you can just change this to maybe a lighter green to show that someone hovers on it, but that's not really important, so you can do it or leave it. So this is how you change this color. Now let's see how we can make it bolder. All right, so to do that, I'll click back, come back, and I'll look for typography. I'll click on typography. I'll scroll down and look for menu. Look at the main menu here. Click on main menu. For the font family, I want to use Poppins. Let me try Poppins first. I want to use Poppins. I think it's Poppins here. Then for the font size is default. For the text transform, if I want, I can change this to uppercase. Just makes everything uppercase, but I'll just leave it at the default. Then for the size, I can make this to be 14 pixels, which makes it bigger. Or I can even make it to be 15. All right, I can make this to be 15 pixels. And then for the font weight, I can make this to be semi-bold 600. All right, so I just make a semi-bold 600. And then I think that's just basically it. For the letter spacing and everything, I just leave it like that and I click on publish. So this is how you get everything. And I'll come back. Then I also need to add a fave icon. Okay, I need to add a fave icon here. So I come back from here. I click on the header. I click on general. And then I don't think it's here. Let me click on the logo. Nope, it's not there. It's not on header. I think it's somewhere around site identity. And then you can see select site icon. So I just click on this place and I just choose this icon. Look at our logo here. Just this icon, the icon on our logo. This is the full logo and this is the icon. I now click on select. And then I click on skip cropping. Now, if you look at the top here, we have this logo. This is our site. This is our fave icon, our site icon. it's not just showing like all this random globe icon. It's now showing that our site has a fave icon. So this is how you add that fave icon, and then you now click on publish. All right, so this is how you get that. And now let's close this section and see how our site looks. So you can see our site looks great. We have the logo here, and if I click on about us, it brings me to this section. Click on scroll to top, click on how to apply, it brings me to this section. Click on scroll to top, I click on FAQs and it brings me here, and I can click on scroll to top. So this is how you add the logo and also the navigation menu and how you link them. Now we have this scroll to top button here, and it's by the left, while ours by default is by the right. So let's see how we can change this to go back. So I now come and click on customize once more, and then when it opens up, just come to general options, click on scroll to top, and we have this one here. So we choose this one, and then the position, we need to make it to be left. So let's wait for it to load. So it has loaded up. It's still showing at the right. I'll just switch it to left, and when I switch it to left, I can increase the icon size and the button position as well, all this. So the button size, instead of 40, I will increase it to like 45. Then for the icon size, I'll make it 23. See, something like this. So this is how you have it. For the border radius, I'll leave it. For the background color, I'll make it to be something like #26A65B to choose that green. And you can see how it shows. We now have this green here, and it's just looking. And for the hover, if you want to add a hover color, you can also add it. Let's see here. This doesn't have, it has black color, so we just leave it like this. So this is how you customize that section. Then when I now come down here, you can see we have the footer, copyright 2023 methodologic empowerment, powered by, then you can see my name here. So let's see how we can add this section. So I'll just copy this, come back to the customize section, click back, and when I'm here, we now see we have the footer bottom. So I click on footer bottom, and we now have this here. I'll just replace this with this. So paste this, and now we have this. So let me scroll down, and you can see we have this. But then we still have a black color here. This is the footer widget. We need to get rid of this. And how do we do that? How do we get rid of it? I'll just click back, come to footer widgets, and I'll disable the footer widget. And you can see that the footer widget has been disabled. Now if you come here, you can see we do not have any color here. This is white. Okay, why we have black? So how do we change that? I'll click back, and I will come to the footer bottom, and for the background, I'll just make the background to be white. All right, now the background is white and the text has disappeared because the text was white as well. So we need to make the text to be black. So I just come to the text color and I'll choose black, and now you can see we have this black color. Okay, and if we want to increase the size to be this bold, just click back, come to typography, and then we look for the footer copyright. And then for the font family, I can use Lato or I can use Poppins. I just use Lato. For the size, for the style is default. For the weight, I think I'll leave the weight to be like that. Then let's come to the size, and I'll make it 14. 14 still looks small for me. Let me make it 15, and 15 looks better. 15 looks better. and then I'll just come here and I'll publish. Now, and I want you to notice something. We have a link here. And when I click on this link, if I click on this link, this site is going to load up and take me to another website. So you can see it now takes me to this website, and this is my personal website. Okay, so it brings me to my personal website because we have some credits given to someone. So that link takes me to my personal website. So let's go back to this website. So we need to see how we can make this link and then link another website here. So I'll come back to the customize, click to go back, then on the footer, no, this is typography, I'll come back, then I'll look for the footer bottom, then this place we have powered by, this is where the link is powered by. You can see the color is green, so I need to come here and I'll put in some code there. So I'll write this, I'll make an anchor tab, and I'll also come here and close it. So just follow the steps, come between the anchor tab and give it some attributes. So I'll just write href equals to, open the quotes, and then I'll put in my website URL. So you can see I now have my website URL there, and you can see how it's looking. Then I can style it up by saying style is equals to, I now come here and I put the color and I said it should be #26A65B. all right, so I now have that color there. So you can see we now have the color there. So I now come here and I publish it. So you can see. So this is how you now add something at the top there. So I now click back, and in fact, let me just close this so we can preview our website and see how the website looks. So now you can see here, if I come down to the bottom, we have this footer and I have this, and when I click on powered by Honorable, I just click here and then it just loads up and brings me to this website. Okay, just brings me to this website and everything looks great. So I just click to come back to our website. So you can see we've been able to design this website from start to finish, and I think I've covered absolutely everything on this website. Everything is working properly, even the scroll to top, and the navigation menu is properly linked. So I just remembered we are yet to add the form. Okay, so let me come to this website, and if I scroll down to the application section, if I click on apply here, you can see that it brings me into the application form. So we are yet to create this form, and we are also yet to link this form with the buttons. So let's quickly do that. So I apologize if this video tutorial is long. I'm just taking time to break these things down in a way you can understand. Okay, so I'll come back to my website and I'll go to my dashboard. And then in my dashboard, first of all, we need to be sure we've installed the plugin for forms. Okay, so if you look at the top here, I have WP forms. Here. If you are yet to install this plugin, come to plugins, and you can see we have some plugins here. These plugins are outdated already. I'll just click on update now, and I'll click on update now so I can update these plugins. Okay, so you can see that these plugins have been installed within seconds. Okay, so I have the WP Forms Lite plugin. So this is a plugin I'm using to create my forms. There are other plugins for creating forms on your website, like the Ninja Forms and the other forms, the Forminator and the rest of that, but I'm going to be using the WP Forms. So if you are yet to install this, just go to add new plugin, search for forms and install this particular one, WP Forms. Okay, so since I have WP Forms already, I will just come to, you can just click here or come to this place and click on it. So I'll just click on WP Forms. Then you can see it opens up. I'll close this by the side and I'll click on create your form or add new form. So I click on create your form. Then you can see we have different template for forms. If you want a newsletter sign up and automobile, you can just come here and use the template, okay? But we just want a simple contact form, okay? So I'll click on use template. And then it opens this up for me. So let's take a look at the form we're creating. We have the name, first and last, and this simple contact form gives us that. We have the name, first and last. Now you can see this thing is aligned properly. You can see how the length of this form is. Everything is aligned. But if you look at this one here, it's not aligned. It's very small. So first, let's see how we can align this. I'll click on this place, just this first field here. I'll just click on it. Then you can see we have the name. I can change this to maybe full name or anything I want. But I want to come to advanced and I'll change this field size from medium to large. You can see this form has extended. The same for email. Come to click on it, come to advanced and change it to large. Now you can see it spans all through here, which makes it look more aligned and beautiful. So after the name and the email, the next thing we have the phone number. So we need to add the phone number. Click on add field, drag this single line text. I'll just drag and drop. And then for the single line text, click on it. I'll change this to phone number. So phone number here, you can see it's required. If you see this red dot, this red star, it means it's required. So I'll just check this down here and then we have the star besides it. And I need to make this to expand all through. Come to advanced, change from medium to large. Great. Then we have the gender. So this is a radio button. So for the gender, I'll click on add feed and I'll look for multi choices. So drag this and drop it under phone number. And then I'll change this multi choices to gender. And then we have male and we have female. We have this two. So the third one is not important. I'll just click here to remove it. So we have this. So this is what we have. Then we have educational qualification. I just copied this. And this place we need the drop down list, okay? Because if you click here, you can see we have this drop down. So I just come here and click on add fields and I'll look for drop down. So I just drop this drop down under the gender. And then for this one, I'll change this drop down to educational qualification. And then here we have SSCE, BSc and HND. So I just come here, I'll write SSCE, HND. You can write whatever you want. I just did this, okay? So I just put this here. And then after adding this, I now come and check for the other one. We have the entry category. So I just come to add field. I look for multi choices. I drop it here. Now let me make this to expand all the way. So I need to click on it. Educational qualification, come to advanced and change the field size to large. Then for this one, I need to entry category, copy, come here. I paste it. For the first choice, we have agro skill acquisition. So I make this agro. The second one, we have skill acquisition. And then we now have information tech. So these are the categories for application, information tech. Okay, so I have this now. And then I don't think that's it. We have some other things that are different. Let's come to this place. Here you can see we have 3 applications: creatives, food services, and traders. So let me just correct this. We have creatives, food services and then traders. I just want everything to be accurate. I made a mistake from the sample site, so I want to fix it. So we now have this. Then the last thing is anything else we should know. I just copy this, come here, click on this comment, just change this to display. So I just paste it and you can see everything works fine. Then I just come here and click on save. So I now have this form. Then I will click on settings. Then on the general, you can name this form anything. So I can just come here, instead of simple contact form, I can just name it NYEA, Nigerian Youth Empowerment Agency. I can just name it like this, or I can just even give it the full name. Okay, it doesn't really matter. So this is it here. And when the submit button text should be submit. See it here, we have submit. You can change it to submit now or something else. Then when someone submits the form, you see sending. This is the submit button processing text. You now see sending. So you can just leave that like that. And if I come to notifications, you can see the send to email. This is your admin email. So you can change this email to another email you'll be receiving the applications. Okay. And you can just make changes to this place or just leave it. New entry. This is the email subject line. When you receive a form, this is the email subject line. So instead of new entry, simple contact form, I can just do NYEA. So just play around with this and then you understand. Then come to confirmation, and the confirmation type, when someone sends it, the person would either get a message, or you show the person a page on your website, or you go to a URL redirect. So I'll just choose message to make everything simple, and then the message would be thanks for contacting us, we will be in touch with you shortly. So you can come here and edit this. So this is just basically it for this form. I now click on save. All right, so now that I'm done saving my form, I'll close this from here. And then I'll come here. You can see our form. We have one form here. If you want to create another form, just click on add new form again, and then you have it. So this form has a short code. You can copy this short code, and then when you just link it on your website, it will pop the form up. But I'm going to be showing you another way to do that. So after creating your form, the next thing would be to create a page. You can see this is a page. So we want to have this application form page. So I come to pages. I click on add new page. I come here and I name this page application form. All right. Then I come to this place and I just click on publish. I click on publish and then come back to this place and click on edit with Elementor. So when Elementor opens this page, first thing we need to get rid of this sidebar, okay? Because this form doesn't have a sidebar. You can see how it looks. So I will come back here, and if you look bottom left, you would see settings. I click on settings, then you scroll down and page layout, click here and change this from default to Elementor full width. So you can see it's loading up and it now has the full width enabled. Okay, so then you come here and click on update. So when this is updated, I come back here. Let's see, we have application form. I just copy this, come here, drag a heading here, and I'll change this to application form. Come to style, click here, my main one, come to typography, change this from Roboto to Lato, and then for the size, I will just make the size to be 40. So we have application form and I'll change this to 700, and then I think it looks great. Then we have this paragraph. So you can just come and copy this paragraph, drag this text editor and drop it under it. And I think there's no need to paste. This is how it comes. I click on style, I change this color to black, come to typography, and I'll change this to Lato. And I will just make this 17. pixels, and 400 is fine, and I click on update. So when I close this, this is how it's gonna look. Okay, then we now need to add this form, and this is the important part. I will just come to elements and I'll check for form. Then you can see we have a lot of forms here. The one I'm looking for is WP forms. So I just scroll down and see WP forms. I just drag it and drop it here. And when I drop it, it says select a form. I click here and I choose this form. We have just one form, NYEA, and it's just gonna pop up my form here. You can see how it looks. My form now appears here. Okay, so this is how it appears, and I can come here, and if I want to reduce the width of this, see how big it looks, I just come and I click on this pen to select this form. I come to advanced, and let's look for the width. You see we have the width here. I click here and I choose custom, and then I can now set this width myself, so I can make it somewhere around 75. Let's see how that looks. So you can see how 75 looks. This looks great. And then I can come here and I just update the form. Now you can see how my form looks. Everything looks great here. See, everything looks great. So let's now preview our website. So I now click on this hamburger and I click on view page. So this is how my website looks. Everything looks great here. Now we have this heading here. You can see we have this title, application form title. We don't want this, so to get rid of this title, just click on edit page, and then click on this Ocean Extra. And when you click on Ocean Extra, it opens here. I now come to title. You see we have title here, and what I'm going to be doing, I just disable the title, and I think that's it. And then I update it. Then I click on view page, and now you can see the title has been disabled. Okay, so that is how you get this part. Now let's see how we can copy this form and how we can link it with our pages. Okay, if I come back to this website here, you can see this form has been linked to this place, to this button. It has been linked here, it has been linked here, and I think that's it. So we need to see how we can copy that link and bring it here. So I'll come back to my website. Now we are on the forms page. I just copy this much. I copy it from here, come back to Elementor, click on this place, this apply here, scroll down and click on button, and for this link just paste this link here, click on this one too, scroll down, click on button, and button, and then I'll now change this link to this one, and I click here as well. I scroll down, click on button, and I now paste this link here and I update it. So now I have updated it, and I think everything is going to work fine. So let me click on this preview changes to see how our website looks. So now we have this website here. So let's click on the button to see if it's going to take us to the page. So I click on apply here, and it now takes me into the application form. So from here you can now fill in this information and you now submit it, and when this form is submitted, you're going to be getting all the details in your email. Okay, so that is how you create a form, and that's how you link it. You can see this form is almost touching the header. To fix this, let's just come to edit with Elementor. So I just click here on edit with Elementor, and we just add margin at the top. Okay, then I click on this section, I come to advanced, I click on margin, and I say margin top should be 50. So you can see now we have some space at the top, or I can just make it 70. If 50 is not cool, I can make it 70. And when I come here, you can see we now have this here, and then everything looks great. So basically guys, I think that is it for this video. Everything is working fine. I think I've been able to cover everything, and this website looks just great. Okay, so thank you so much for taking time to watch this video to the end. Please, if you got value from this video, don't forget to hit the smash button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also hit the bell notification icon so you always get notified when I drop future videos. I'm sorry if this video tutorial is too long. I just took out time to make sure I cover everything and I explain everything in a way you can understand even as a complete beginner. I have a lot of videos I'm yet to drop, so make sure you don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you get yourself updated with all my tutorials. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless you.